What is up, everybody? Happy, what is it, Thursday night? Happy Thursday night. We thought we'd jump on here for a few minutes after that really, really big news today, kind of groundbreaking news in the world of college football. We thought we'd bring on, the genius mind that he is, Tony Altimore, to maybe break some of this down with us. And we got Joey and Ben here with us
I
as
wish.
well. Hey, you were just bragging. You just got retweeted by the great Jeb Bush.
He was excited. He was excited for the Canes.
Yeah, well, you had a pretty funny story about it too. So,
Well, he
y-
the former governor of Florida retweeted it with a congratulations to the private school Miami without noticing that the public school USF was in there also. So
so he's just kind of leaving USF out, huh?
it's a little embarrassing for USF. Sorry, USF. Sorry, Bulls. You guys deserve to be in there.
Now it's
Anyway, I got a little chuckle out of it.
yeah, it is pretty funny. Jeb Bush. It is kind of cool. You got Jeb Bush to retweet one of your tweets, though. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even follow him or anything. He came across it because it's such a big day. So it's a big and very validating day for Miami and for USF both. But I feel like Miami is such, probably gonna sound bad. Miami is aware of its elite status already, and so it's probably even more validating for USF. Like they're so excited, and they should be. Today is an awesome day.
so that's what I was kind of surprised about was USF. I mean, I didn't realize that they were that.
Great
I mean,
school.
I'm right. I mean, where are they getting that from? Is that from their research, or is it from?
Yeah, so today, six schools were invited to join the Association of American Universities, which is the AAU. It's the elite group of the 71, now 71. It was 65 yesterday, but the 71 top research universities in North America. And it's 69 in the US and 2 in Canada. And so they very rarely add people. So like in 2019, I think they added like Dartmouth and one of the UC schools. And today, fight on Gixxer Squid. And today they added Miami, USF, Notre Dame, Arizona State, and UC Riverside, and George Washington. So they added 6, which is a lot. But they're great schools, and it's a huge thing, and it has a huge kind of realignment impact as well. Because so for the Big Ten has only going back to World War II essentially when the AAU really blew up. But the Big Ten has only added AAU members. Now Nebraska was in and got kicked out, some wacky drama. But the Big Ten has made it clear that their standard was AAU, although they were always willing to make an exception for Notre Dame. Now there's no exception to be made. And for Notre Dame and Miami, who have really built up their schools, I mean, over the last century, I mean, into being these world-class great universities that they are, this is just an absolutely exciting moment because this is where the elite universities of this country and Canada, I mean, the University of Toronto, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Columbia, the University of California, the University of Washington, University of Florida, Vanderbilt sat down and they voted and they said, Miami, USF, UC Riverside, Notre Dame, you are one of us. And it's really exciting for those schools. And from a football standpoint, what that means is, there was some question like, okay, would the Big Ten make an exception? Would the Big Ten look to some schools that didn't have AAU? And who knows, they might. But Miami and Notre Dame are now, they've got that stamp. They've got that thing. The Big Ten presidents already voted on Miami and Notre Dame and said, you are one of us, at least academically.
So
How much
do you think that had to do with the conference, like realignment that's going on? And I mean, the coincidences don't happen that much.
So you mean because they added 6 schools today instead of 2?
Right.
Usually they had like 2. Today they added 6.
Well, when was the last time you said they added one?
2019.
So 2019, they added 1 or
2. I think they had
2?
2 in
Okay.
2019.
Okay.
Today they added 6.
So obviously not all those would go to the,
Well, here's the other catch though. Uh, there are a lot of really, really angry people in Athens, Georgia, in Raleigh, North Carolina, in Blacksburg, Virginia, and a lot of other places who very much feel that their metrics and their academic numbers are superior to Miami and Notre Dame.
and
Like, and by
are they?
superior, I mean like double. And
Are
they didn't get in.
but are they superior that much? I mean,
I don't know. They got double the research.
so they do, okay. So it's obviously has something to do with
Well, I mean, and
conference
also,
realignment.
maybe. I mean, it's about relationships. It's about.
Right.
I mean, Notre Dame, for example, is one of the most phenomenal schools in the country. It just doesn't do as much graduate stuff. And I mean, another school that was in this category, one of the schools that joined in 2019 was Dartmouth. Right, like I mean, Dartmouth was founded, I don't know what, 1680 or something. It's one,
Right.
elite Ivy League founder wasn't in the AAU
Right.
because they just didn't do as much graduate stuff, and then they did. So you just remembering with you sort of take it with a grain of salt that there's some reason, and same with Miami. Miami is only doing 350 million or something in research, but they have said you guys are one of us, and it's not just the dollar amount, right? It's the dollar amount, it's the quality, it's awards, it's all kinds of stuff like that. And Gixxer Squid makes a good point. No income tax and high property taxes, which subsidizes education immensely.
Tony,
Right.
correct me if I'm wrong, but Notre Dame could have got AAU status years ago. It's kind of weird that all of a sudden now they're getting it because they could
Well,
have gotten it
not
anytime.
really. So the thing is that Notre Dame has really beefed up their graduate research. It's like their numbers have been going up rapidly. So they're really like, it's not that their undergrad ranking was low, but they're and I'm trying to think of a good, like a good analogy, but like they've really made that effort to do what they need to do to get that status in the last decade or so.
But do you sort of like throw your hat in the ring and hope that you get AAU status as a university, or is there such a thing as throwing your hat in the ring?
It's like getting invited to a fancy country club, where you kind of network and schmooze and then you get invited. The one thing about AAU is that I don't think there's any school in the country that doesn't want it.
I agree.
So Rec Talk says UGA's academics aren't there. Their quality of research matters. Is that true, Tony?
So I don't have all the details on UGA specifically. The New America Foundation did a study, I don't know, like 7 years ago or something, where they like reevaluated. They said, who do they think should be in AAU and who shouldn't be, and you can argue with their methodology or not. But among their schools that really were the high-ranking ones that weren't in the AAU were Arizona State, number one, and I don't have the sheet in front of me, but like it was Georgia, Florida State, Virginia Tech, South Florida was one of them, North Carolina State, and so that there were a lot, but in North Carolina State and Virginia Tech are both tremendous research schools that aren't in it. And a lot of people thought it would be those two. Georgia's a state flagship school.
But now I thought Georgia had AAU status. Alabama don't, but
Georgia Tech does.
Georgia Tech.
Yeah, that's why the Georgia Tech man was flexing a second ago.
Yeah.
That's why I put it up there. I thought Tech was as well, but
yeah,
so I thought that was a troll coming from the the
Tech joined in Tech. I mean, Tech's actually not that old, not that long a member. Tech joined in like 2001 or something.
Now, another thing too, they added 6 today, but I wonder how much that had to do with them losing what, 3 in the last 2 years, right? They lost Nebraska. They
No,
lost
they lost.
Iowa State.
So first of all, they don't lose; they get rid of.
Well, Iowa
They
State just gave theirs up, though, didn't they? Didn't Iowa State just say, no, I don't want it?
Joey.
Well,
Did
that's what they reported.
okay. Did Manny Diaz give up being football coach at Miami? I heard he resigned. That's what happens. Like you're told to leave. No one leaves. I mean, the funny thing is that Iowa State has convinced their fans that they left for for their own reasons, which is genuinely like if Mike Bone had USC fans being like, he left for health reasons. Really?
Right.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. It's always so. So let's hypothetically say, like I had a couple questions for you. What's up, Maui? Hi.
Hey,
I had a
Maui.
couple questions
Maui?
for you. So, let's just assume that the reason that they, have kind of conveniently added a couple teams that would probably fit
Some of them are
well.
very convenient.
Right. Very, very convenient. So,
State is very convenient right now.
what kind of time frame would you look at? Maybe 2025?
Who knows?
Yeah, but I mean, if you were going to take a guess, I mean,
So
3 years.
The other thing is you had a very interesting alignment on the AAU board this year. So the AAU board is made up of 10 members. Right now, it's chaired by USC. The vice chair is Illinois, who's also the chair of the Big Ten. You have 2 University of California schools: Duke, Pitt, Kansas, I think Harvard, Cornell, and NYU. So you have right now a very favorable board that if you were going to do it, again, and I don't mean, we're not talking, this isn't like tinfoil hat conspiracy, but like if you wanted to get Arizona State, Notre Dame, and Miami in, this was the board to do it with.
Right.
I don't know who's going to be on the next, I don't know who will be on the next board.
Well, so I mean, not to get too conspiratorial or anything like, me, I would never want to go down those roads. But so I mean, we could end up seeing.
Here's your tinfoil hat conspiracy. 2 weeks ago, the University of Arizona. So Arizona shares a board of regents. The regents oversee Northern Arizona, Arizona State, and the University of Arizona. It's the ABOR. They do them all. 2 weeks ago, Arizona all of a sudden stopped talking about the Big 12. And today, Arizona State just joined the AAU.
Right, that makes sense. So so is this kind of setting up for the, for the 4 mega conferences, or is this going to 3, you think?
I would say, first of all, what this does is it's aside from sports, it recognizes the phenomenal academic achievements of these 6 schools. Hands down, they have all earned it. They all deserve it. Just the choice of these 6 schools relative to some others is maybe a little debatable. What it does do is it clears the pathway, I would say, that would remove any objections that anyone in the future would have from the Big Ten, particularly for some of these schools. Like this is sort of the stamp of approval. You guys heard like a couple weeks ago, people said, "Oh, Oregon and Washington were vetted for the Big Ten." Like this is the vetting essentially. The most elite club in the country has signed off on those schools as institutions.
Right.
And so,
where USC's headed? Where you're the USC guy, so they're
USC's
I mean, what
going
is
to the Big Ten?
So they're going to the Big Ten as well, right?
Yeah, they start in the Big Ten next year.
Right. So they start next year. So and who went with them?
UCLA.
Okay, so UCLA and USC just jumped ship, so they're already going there. So that puts it up to what, 12 teams now?
18. Well, 16 technically, and 2 affiliates.
Right. Okay, and that's without anybody else. That's next year. That'll be what it is.
Next year, yeah. Next year.
Okay, so it'll be at 16. So then, if they could possibly pull in the next few years, they could pull in the Miami and Notre Dame, and likely Georgia Tech. I would think if they're already in.
Well, Georgia. So the problem with Georgia Tech, and I was actually with the guys from a Rumble Seat podcast the other day. The problem with Georgia Tech is that they just right now their football team I don't think really meets the Big Ten standards.
Right. What? Right. Yeah. I mean, they suck, but it
They need
does
to not
kind
suck.
of.
Well,
Sorry.
because here's the thing: there's 3 questions, right? Like that you have to pass to get it in the conference. The first one is, are you a good enough institution? Like, do they want to have you with them? And this is where that AAU vote today is so important because the Big Ten presidents voted and said, Miami, you are one of us. So, hard to think that they're going to be like, oh, you're good enough for the AAU, but not good enough for the conference. No, you're good enough for the school, for conference as a school. The second one is your athletic program good enough for us? Miami, I think that answer is clearly yes. Notre Dame, obviously, it's yes. Georgia Tech, I don't think it would be yes yet.
What about
And then the third question,
USF?
it also not up to big. I don't think USF
Well,
is really a Big Ten candidate right now.
right. I agree with you, and that's why I was asking if what is the logic of them pulling in USF at this point, other than
Well,
just to.
Well, USF.
Okay, so here's my question.
USF just got the recognition because USF is a great school.
Well, here's my question. Maybe they're looking at it from the standpoint of, I mean, recruiting and stuff like that. It does help to all of a sudden get, that conference into the state of Florida, regardless. I mean, USF isn't a power program, but it also would help, it seems like, logically, to get into the state of Georgia with Georgia Tech in the recruiting. I mean,
Georgia Tech met. So again, let's get to the third question. The third question is, do the TV networks think you're worth the money to pay the extra money? And with Georgia Tech, that answer is not currently yes.
right.
So Georgia Tech, for example, you have to get 3 yeses, and they currently have 1 yes and 2 nos.
I got you.
On the sort of 3 questions. Now, for USF, for example, I mean, this is a great thing for USF. Like, for USF's future, and USF is trying to wheedle its way in the ACC. There's people that think that under crazy circumstances, maybe they could end up in the Pac-12. I mean, I think the Big 12 should have already taken them, but they didn't, and they don't seem to want to. So for USF, this may, this may be a while coming. Who knows? But what this does is it makes them just incredibly more attractive to all other institutions. And this is not a 1-year play, right? Like, this is not necessarily an immediate thing. It might be a decade before this comes to pass. It might be 5 years. We might be 2 years. We don't know. But the big thing is that what this has done is it has set them up for the future to be ready. And they've gotten that approval. I mean, the schools themselves voted yes, which is what's exciting.
Right. It's opening a lot of doors, basically.
And not only that, but it sets them up to then like turbocharge all the academic stuff that you're already doing. Because to professors, and one of the things, schools are always trying to recruit great professors. Like, that's a really hard thing for schools to do. So this makes you like that much more fabulous to professors. So like how like for a college, like getting in one of the Power 5 conferences makes you way more attractive to recruits. Well, getting into AAU is like, take that times 10 for professors. Like, it's what professors want. So this is just, so now all of a sudden they're going to have like way easier time recruiting professors. And they recruit more professors. Professors get more research money. They get more rankings. Their rankings go up. They're able to get more students and get better students. And Miami's rankings will improve from this. So will South Florida's and GW's and everybody else. And I think that's really exciting for them.
Right. And just to just to put my foot down on this, yes, Rec Talk, that was a whole setup on you, my friend, to get USF to look better than Georgia Tech. So I'm glad it worked.
Oh, I mean, Georgia Tech is awesome.
I like Georgia Tech.
Is great. I had a great time talking with the Rumble Seat guys. They're really, really, really good bunch. But yeah, I mean, the thing about Georgia Tech, though, is if you think about Georgia Tech from a Big Ten standpoint, right? Like, if Georgia Tech could just get its football program in gear, Georgia Tech is a phenomenal school. They're in the market that dreams are made of. They have a rich history, great alumni. I mean, Georgia Tech is the dream school. They just really bad right now.
Okay, so it says the Uncle Lou says Miami is 0 for eternity in the ACC, so they want to try their luck in the big. Yeah,
That's fair. Uncle, as always, what's
it's
the
a
Game
fair
of Thrones
assessment.
line? Uncle Lou speaks harshly, but
It's a
truly.
fair assessment. I mean,
Fair
I have no
assessment.
argument against this. But other than the fact that we're gonna win it, we're gonna win it this year.
You are. You're gonna win it this year. That's a riot. No, I mean it's exciting. I mean, again, if I was in Uncle Lou, if I was in Athens, Georgia, or I was in Raleigh, North Carolina, or I was in Blacksburg, Virginia today, they are outraged. Like there is nastiness right now in at Virginia Tech because they thought that they were going to be in this bunch, and the fact that it's 6, like most people thought it'd be like 2, and it's 6, and it just kind of comes out of nowhere, but it's 6 and it's not one of them is a lot for them.
Yeah, that does seem like it obviously makes it, connected to this conference realignment, without a doubt. I mean, you know,
I think again the academic gurus would never admit that it was, and there's every documentation element in the world to show why they are all worthy, but it's just really interesting that these are clearly realignment
well,
looking
and
ties.
to be fair, there's no way in hell that Georgia was looking at leaving the SEC. I mean, there's not like, I mean, that wasn't going to happen. So why would they be?
Georgia's worthy. Georgia's a state flagship school. It's weird when you don't have great state flagship schools in there. Now Alabama's a weird case because this is really much based on research. But Alabama sends all its research to UAB, which is where their huge, awesome hospital is, and their rocket stuff up to Huntsville, the University of Alabama at Huntsville. So the actual University of Alabama does less research than they spend on sports. And they get a lot of flack for that. But it's like flack that they don't deserve because what was it Tide Guy told me once? We don't want our fans to know how smart our kids are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I thought was a great line. But
That is funny.
yeah. Alabama's a great school, again, just sort of weird with the element of that fact that they're putting so much of the actual money in the satellite campuses. I mean, UAB might technically get it before they did, but
So, question, Tony. If this opens up doors for Miami and Notre Dame to join the Big Ten, what does that say for Oregon and Washington?
well, so I mean, Washington is, I don't know if I don't think they're maybe not be a founding member of the AAU, but Washington's been a member of the AAU for like a century.
Right, but I'm saying, what does that say to them about
Oregon is
now or in the future?
Oregon is a whole nother debatable category. There's a lot of people that wonder how Oregon's still in AAU. Again, the thing about the Big Ten is that Oregon and Washington, and this is what the Big 12 fans do not listen to for some reason, no matter how many times they're told. Oregon and Washington have repeatedly begged the Big Ten to get in, and the Big Ten has said no.
Right.
But tomorrow morning there'll be another Big 12 person talking about Oregon and Washington, and it's like you might as well try to talk about your upcoming wedding plans with Taylor Swift.
Well, I'm not trying to talk about them. I'm asking.
I don't mean you.
I mean
other people.
Yeah, I'm just asking what would it mean for them?
Yeah,
it would pretty much slam the door on their face, right? I mean,
Joey's marrying Taylor Swift. What?
Before Oregon gets in the Big Ten, probably. No.
Don't tell you that.
No, don't tell her that. We're just because the thing about Oregon, Washington are great schools. This thing where we say, this is the Big Ten saying, oh, hey, this school is we are inviting you to be one of us. So is Washington. Washington and Oregon also just voted for Miami and Notre Dame. So I mean, it's very much a they're also already in that club. It just says a lot that the Big Ten and the Pac-12, especially when you count the full University of California, because the University of California now has eight. Remember, I said 71 schools, right? The 71 best research schools. 8 of them are from the University of California.
Well, see, I'm looking at like what Lou says here. He's like, if the Big adds more teams, the SEC is going to go scorched earth. They'll add a North Carolina, Virginia, and Arizona, and another Florida team, which obviously would be Florida State and Clemson. And see, I think that this is kind of setting this up to say that this is exactly how it's going to fold out.
Well, I don't.
Well,
agree.
Here's another element too.
I was just going to say I don't agree necessarily with adding the Virginia team. Could they add in Arizona? I doubt it too, but they could. I don't agree with adding the Virginia team. I think the Big Ten wants its footprint in Virginia too. So I look for them to go after Virginia Tech or Virginia if that happens.
See, a lot of people view this as like I call it like a gym class mentality. Like, you take this one, then I'll pick, then you pick, then I'll pick, then you pick, then I'll pick. Yeah. Like, I don't think there's that many slots. And I don't know that any of them want anybody right away right now anyway. I think it may be more of a long-term play. I could be wrong. I could.
Well, where do you stand a chance of watering down a conference, right? I mean, the SEC is good, yes. But when does it become just top-heavy? Or the Big Ten, for that matter? When does it become just top-heavy and the rest are just like there?
Also, when is it just too many members? It's not even really a conference anymore.
Well, see, right. I think the SEC does have its targets set on FSU and Clemson. They definitely do. I mean, they would be great additions to that.
And I don't know if they we say that, but also the SEC is very big on adding new markets. And the SEC already has the flagship campuses in Florida and South Carolina.
Yeah, but with the ACC falling apart, I mean, it's got to be kind of.
Is the ACC falling apart?
Well, I don't know. It kind of seems that way. I mean, with all the realignment, with everything everybody's been talking about, I mean, maybe they will save it, but with the media deals and all that jazz, I mean.
So here's my question. In all honesty, where is everyone going to go from this whole collapsing ACC? I don't see them going anywhere.
So you think the ACC?
It seems to me there's
stay.
one conference. There's one conference that talks about everything falling apart, and it's the conference that has spent its entire existence falling apart.
Yeah.
In all honesty, the Big 12 people talk about the ACC is going to fall apart. The ACC is having its greedy moment where people are trying to wheedle more money, and that's fair and that makes sense. But when you look at it, where are these ACC teams going to go? They're not going to go anywhere. In all honesty, if the ACC even did lose a couple members, I think, I could be wrong, I think they would just refill with a couple more, which is, by the way, what everybody does.
Right, but if the ACC did lose members, I mean, they're probably going to lose from the top. I wouldn't, they're not going to lose from the bottom. So you're just getting a more, the conference is going downhill at that point and losing legitimacy.
The Big 12 has been going downhill since 96.
Right, and the Big 10 is going uphill.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with you, but I mean,
so the SEC is going to start wanting to compete with that.
I'm not ripping on anybody. Yeah,
only in football have they been losing.
Yeah, and I'm not ripping anybody. My point is using them as an example of the fact that the conference continues to exist. Look at what happened the American, sort of as the Big East. They just kept refilling, and the thing about the ACC is that there's only a very finite number of sort of interested slots. I guess, and time could prove me wrong. But I don't see a world where so many ACC teams find new homes that the conference goes away. Just incrementally.
Right. So you think the ACC will survive in the end? I mean, will it become another, just a washed up conference, or will it still have the legitimacy that it has now?
So right now, when you look at data, now last year, the ACC was chicken dance of terrible football. I mean, did you guys know it wasn't Bethune-Cookman? Who did you lose to? Middle Tennessee?
Oh, I don't even want to talk about that, man. I mean,
Okay, so let's forget last year. But in general, the ACC is the number 3 conference right now. You actually year to year now. Florida State tries to hide this because they were trying to make a point. They got a great AD, but he was trying to make a point to his regions. The ACC makes the 3rd most money. They have the 3rd most national championships. They are number 3. If they lost a couple off the top, they'd probably still be number 3. If they lost like 4 and had to refill, okay, well now they're probably equal to the Pac-10 and the Big 12.
Now, when you say number 3, are you talking about like as far as money
National
wise,
championship, Heisman trophies, weeks ranked, like all kinds of metrics?
Okay, because I know
most football metrics, the ACC is number 3.
Okay, cool. And is that in like the media, the people who watch the games and the fan bases and everything, or
all of that stuff? Yeah, I mean, you look at
everything combined.
Viewers, you look at all kinds of stuff. Exactly. Now again, if you start losing and you lose, say you lost hypothetically, and again, the mechanism to be determined, because I don't know that there even is a mechanism with this ACC grant of rights. But hypothetically, if you lost Florida State and Miami and Clemson and Notre Dame, the ACC would be about the same as the Pac-10 and the Big 12. Now they would refill, right? They might add, I don't know who they'd add, Connecticut, South Florida, Memphis, whatever. They do exactly what the Big 12 has done and exactly what the Pac-12 is about to do, and adding probably San Diego State and SMU.
The SEC people are trolling the USC people here.
Well, no, the first thing I thought of
the SEC has done 100 times worse.
Yeah, I mean, Alabama's got like 700 according to some people, but
the first thing I thought of today when I learned that Notre Dame and Miami had gotten AAU status, first thing that dawned on me was, well, there were 7 teams in the ACC having these meetings and talking about, what can we do? Now Notre Dame's got AAU status. They are part of the ACC in all aspects except for football. So that's 8 teams.
And hockey.
Yeah, hockey, they're already in the Big Ten.
Yeah, they're already in the Big Ten in hockey. Yeah. So
the thing is, in all honesty, like the Big Ten has been trying to get Notre Dame to join for like 40 years. So it's not like the AAU status all of a sudden makes Notre Dame okay and they weren't okay before. They've been trying to get them to join for 40 years.
I don't think they have. I don't think Michigan wanted them.
Michigan didn't want him in the old days, but they've been trying to get him since the early 80s. I mean, wasn't that when President Gee, wasn't he the one that was trying to negotiate it?
Well, Gee was at Ohio State then.
Yeah, he was at Ohio State, but he was leading negotiations with Notre Dame because he got a whole lot of flack from the Catholic community when he said something like, the fathers are holy on Sunday, but not on any other day, or something like that.
So he didn't say anything like Bob Huggins said. He just
no, but it offended it wasn't as bad as Bob Huggins.
He's like the rest of us Catholics. We go to church on Sunday and back to the pub on Monday.
Yeah, exactly. He had some choice words about the priests that run Notre Dame, and you know what? People may have been offended, but nobody said he was wrong.
Yeah, sometimes people get offended way too easy.
Will Chloe is gonna put a curse on me. I'm just kidding, Will.
Yeah, where's Will at when we need him? I haven't seen Will around in a while. Is Will doing okay?
He is. I talked to him today. I talked to Will earlier today.
I like Will. I like when he used to do his late night inebriated walks home from the bars back to his places. And we were all taking the over-unders that he was going to get mugged. I mean, those were kind of
he's in Richmond though. He's all right. But no, I'll tell you, it's a really exciting day for Miami. I mean, again, we don't know what's going to happen. It's probably nothing right away, but this just, it very much gives the blessing for future moves. Very telling also that it was Miami and not Florida State.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where I kind of look at this too. I mean, Okay, so what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, it was like, and maybe it was last week, I don't know, I can't keep it with time anymore, but it was like, okay, so you have 7 teams sitting here, waiting to go out and that they're meeting secretly trying to figure out how they're gonna get out of these deals. Now, I mean, what is the comparison between like the money in the Big Ten compared, like, the TV rights and everything like that, the payouts to the schools between that and the ACC? I mean,
It's going to be
what
about
is
$50 million a year.
50?
Yeah, 40 to 50.
40 to 50. So that makes, I mean, a buyout a lot more um feasible when you look at it to where yeah, 1 or 2 more years down the road. And I mean, with the whole playoff, when does the playoffs change? I mean, when does it go into the what are we doing? 12 teams now. They finally decided.
2 year, year and a half for the first one. The big money is going to be in like 2.5 years because they're going to right now they just have an extension, like an extension or whatever, of that's going to expand the ESPN contract. But in like 2 years or whatever, they bid it out to they bid it out to new providers. So Fox, it'll probably be like just like the NFL playoffs. Like Fox will have a piece, and CBS will have a piece, and ESPN will have a piece, and they'll all pay a fortune. And so it's going to result in a lot more money, but it's probably going to be about a lot more money per school, pretty even across the board. And so because of that, it's going to be a lot more money for everybody. But just the Big Ten right now is just so much more money, and the SEC as well, just so much more money than the ACC. That's where Florida State looks at it, and Florida State's like, we can't keep this up.
Right, and that's kind of what I'm saying. I mean, everything seems to be aligning, like, because you can't tell me that all these people aren't in the back rooms, having their own meetings, doing their own things. I mean, we're all speculating here on YouTube. Have people talking this person's opinion, this person's opinion. It goes back and forth, but these people are sitting back in the background, and they're all preparing and making their own plans for what is coming. And I mean, this kind of seems like the groundwork to me to say that, yeah, in 2-3 years, Miami is probably headed to the Big Ten.
So, Uncle Lou has a serious question. He says it's a serious question in the chat, and he says, "Do Big Ten people realize how irrelevant the entire AAU discussion is to normal people?"
Well, I'm gonna let Tony answer that.
Yeah.
So I guess it depends on who the normal people are. Like the normal people are like fans. If you don't have anything to do with the school, then it's not a big deal. If you're a student, alum, faculty, staff, donor, or family member, then it's of those schools, then it's a massive deal. If you're somebody that is going to be affected by faculty recruitment at that school, so again, you're an alum, you're a student, you're a parent, it's a monstrous deal. And for the Big Ten, it's really a question of like, who do we want to associate with as a school? Now, quite honestly, let's be honest. Let's pick on Georgia. If Georgia were in the Big Ten, you want to bet they would have gotten Georgia in the AAU 40 years ago, probably. My guess would be when they got Michigan State in, they would have gotten Georgia in. I mean, that's just a guess because Georgia's a great school. I mean, Georgia, Florida State, Florida State, North Carolina State, Virginia Tech are just absolutely phenomenal schools. Uncle Lou, I would have assumed Georgia was going to get it before anybody this year.
I mean, see, that's a valid question, though. I mean, that most people don't even know what AAU is. And that's, but it is a requirement, is it not, to join the Big Ten to be an AAU school, correct? I mean, pretty much a requirement.
Pretty much a requirement. Again, not 100%, because again, they were going to take Notre Dame, and Notre Dame didn't have it.
But they would have gotten Notre Dame. But they would have got it for Notre Dame had they joined.
And they pretty much just did, I think.
Right. And so the fact that they just now did, and the fact that they just now got it for Miami as well, and
not for Florida State and North Carolina.
But if it's such a big deal,
right? Not North Carolina.
Why is Nebraska still in the Big Ten if it's such a big deal? It couldn't be that big of a deal.
Well, Nebraska had a, and I don't really want to get into the Nebraska situation, but Nebraska had a real dramatic mess, and they got kicked out.
Right, but they didn't get out of the Big Ten, but they're already in the Big Ten.
Yeah, they were already in the Big Ten, and Michigan. It had to do with Michigan. It's a big, ugly, dramatic mess.
And it's not
really
just
want to get into it.
It's not just the Big Ten, correct, Tony? I think you laid it out that the SEC, everyone in the SEC has added.
So the SEC, every school the SEC has ever added is either an AAU member and or, because some of them are both, a state flagship campus.
So the earlier question was asked about why should people care or whatever. If you want your school to join one of these conferences, you should care because I guess it seems like if you want to join the SEC or the Big Ten, you need to be an AAU member. So
or a state flagship school.
So it is rather important. Do they know? Are some of you articulate enough to figure it out? Probably not. But if they want their team to join, then yeah, it's important.
Right. And I think that's the writing on the wall is that most people don't. I mean, Lou, you're correct. Most people, fans, don't give a rat's ass if your school is an AAU school or not. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Most Georgia fans aren't going to give a damn that they're not AAU schools. But if Miami or Notre Dame or these other schools, USF or Georgia Tech or anything like that, with all this conference realignment coming up, if they want to have the door open to walk in and join this, and this is foreshadowing, then first off, they have to be an AAU school.
Well, and I would also say one of the differences, for example, with Georgia, let's just pick on Georgia because Georgia's awesome, is that like a lot of Georgia fans have nothing to do with the University of Georgia. Like they've never been in a classroom at the University of Georgia. Versus like USF, for example, I would bet that a lot higher percentage of USF fans actually have a tie to USF, which is why they're so excited today. For Notre Dame, for example, Notre Dame fans are notoriously not from Notre Dame.
Stingray says, now what if we are an AARP member? And Stingray, I could even make that argument.
Costco.
I could even make that argument and leave out RP. I mean,
hey, then you're a lot more fun at the game.
Exactly. I mean, well, I'm an AA member, so where do I stand as a fan?
Okay, I had a friend in New York who used to go to AA meetings to like try to meet guys, saying that they were really fun, but now they had their lives together.
So I saw the funniest, not to take it off topic, but I saw the funniest tweet today. It was one of those ones from one of those pages that shows like internet wins, and it was this guy, and he was saying like, I don't know why all these people are wasting time on Tinder and all these other dating sites. He's like, you have to pay for a lot of things. You have to do all this. He's like, you want some professional advice? He goes, all you got to do is go on Facebook yard sale and look for used wedding dresses. He says, they're on the rebound, and you can shop by size.
Yeah. That's true. That's really a good point.
I was like, wow, that's like perfect right there, But no, it makes sense. I mean, like, I'm hearing pushback, from people saying the AAU, like, who gives a damn about the AAU? Nobody does. But I mean, it's common sense that if these teams are looking to join this conference, that the first thing they would want to do is to get into the AAU.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal because we want to have Notre Dame. I mean, whatever conference, SEC or Big Ten, Notre Dame is a big crown and anybody's, jewel, a big jewel in anyone's crown. Let's put it that way. Getting some that size of Notre Dame, they've sucked on the field, but I mean that you cannot deny what that does for your conference having a program like that. And then Miami, again, it hasn't been great, but Miami, we know it. When you have the right coach at Miami, the talent's there, so it's going to be huge. And both those schools now. It's kind of starting to line up. Someone said to me today that was it Tide Guy said that Ruiz actually got the land, so now they're building an on-campus stadium. Is that correct or incorrect?
I have not seen any confirmation of that.
Then you start seeing breadcrumbs that they're trying. I mean, obviously they're trying to get into a conference, and I don't know. You're Florida man. They say that Miami's a lot more like the North than it is the South. Is that true? Culturally.
It depends on what part of Miami you are in,
but pretty much, right? It's not like the Panhandle that way, right?
I mean, that's a debatable question. It depends on where you are in Miami, and I mean, there's us South Florida rednecks down there that are nothing like northern people, and there is Miami's a melting pot, so there's really no way of saying that there's a certain kind of people. Just to be honest.
Okay.
I mean, that's just what South Florida is. It's a melting pot, which makes it so cool and what it is, you know. That's why it's so fun down there.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it'd been great if the Big Ten could get both at Florida State and Miami, but I do think that they get Miami, and maybe SEC gets Florida State. I mean, I have nothing to base that on, but I've talked to some people that say that Florida State's a better fit for the SEC than they are for the.
And it may be a decade before that happens. It may be 5 years. It might be 2 years.
Why would it be so long?
So I want to address something that Bean says in the comments here. He says, now Miami fans, well, it went away from me. He said, now Miami fans will brag about being AAU. And that's the whole purpose of this stream is TF is a Miami fan and they got AAU status. So he's gone by to brag. So
well, no, it's not really even bragging. I actually had questions for Tony. I just wanted to know more about it and try to sum it up. And I thought maybe some other people might as well, you know, have questions.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with what it does. Sorry, Tony. It does have to do with academics. And I get the whole point of people say, well, I don't care about it because a lot of people are just fans, right? But why I think it's important is because it's pointing towards these schools. There's movement. I don't think. I mean, Tony, you're thinking it's going to be about 10 years, but I'm thinking
maybe up to. I mean, I think it's probably less than that, but I don't think it's next year.
Who was it? Someone said it was a great point. I can't remember who. Maybe you know what? It was Rick. He said he was talking about the fact that it makes a lot of sense to bust up the ACC, especially if schools. So they're a partial, right? They're a partial member. Notre Dame, correct? So their buyouts a heck of a lot less. Is that correct?
Yeah, much less.
And do we have an idea of what that number is?
It's in the contracts. I don't know what it is. Notre Dame can afford it. Notre Dame.
So when that happens, if they make that move, you know, then you might see. You know, I don't think. Does anyone here think the ACC is going to implode like they keep talking about how they're gonna vote their way out of it?
No, I don't believe that's the case.
I don't speculate on that stuff. I mean, if it happens, it happens, but I don't think it will.
I agree with you, Joey. I don't see it happening.
Yeah. Well, let me just
the two of you a question.
Wait, Joey.
Oh, okay,
Joey, hang on. Let me just real quick just address the last Uncle Lou thing. Uncle Lou, I agree with you totally. He's like saying how many people, alumni, fans, etc., show up at AAU schools on a random. That's not the point, and that's not the point. You keep making that same point, and it's not the point of what's going on here. I mean, everybody knows. Now, you do say how many people, alumni. Now, I can really think that a lot of alumni would take difference in as far as donations and things like that, thinking that their school is more elite, giving money because not just all alumni gives money to football programs. You know, there's a lot of alumni that does give money to academic programs.
It's much less than you'd think.
I mean, my grandfather was a booster for, you know, the University of Miami for years and years and years and years. And it wasn't just about the football program. I know that for a fact. But my point being is it's showing that the whole point of this is it's showing the opening of the doors to where teams are going to be going. It makes no difference. I, as a football fan, don't give a damn about the AAU. Like, I don't care. I'm not flexing that, woohoo, we're labeled as a more smarter school. You know, like, I don't give a damn about any of that. I mean, I think it's cool. It's a neat, you know, accomplishment, and I am proud of it. But as a football fan, I don't really give a damn. But it's just kind of showing where the doors are opening for schools to go. So,
and not only that, but how about just congratulations, Miami, because Miami has worked so hard for decades to build up its school, and this is the ultimate validation of that. Like, hats off to the Hurricane leadership, faculty, students, alumni, like that. I mean, they made this happen, and it's a great day to celebrate for Hurricanes.
Well, I want to take a hat off
and
and
Bulls
say
and Highlanders and everybody else.
it's not nothing unusual that every week we have something changing in college football and the ever loving landscape of college football, right? It was just this time 2 weeks ago that we all were under the assumption and assumed that the Big Ten deal was wrapped up in the bag, ready to go, and everything looked great, right? And then we learned last week, hey, wait a minute, none of that stuff maybe is going to happen. So, we might be all be looking into this Miami Notre Dame stuff too much, in my opinion. But like there's an old saying, right? With the smoke, there's fire, and we know that
unless
that
it's
Notre
Big 12,
Dame,
there might just be a flaming bag of poo.
Right. I know that Notre Dame is going to want to be in the playoffs. Not only are they going to be in the playoffs, but they're going to have that opportunity for that bye week, and they can't do that as an independent. So there might be a little bit of power to this, them getting the AAU status.
The thing with the media rights about the Big Ten's a bunch of nothing. It's about $70 million between 14 schools. That's pocket change to these people, right? Am I wrong, Joe? Tony? The whole the difference in the Big Ten media thing is like 70 million or something like that. Is that wrong or right? Tony's.
What? Say it again, Tim. Sorry.
Okay, am I muted?
Out.
So, Tony, question for you: is it $70,000? Is that the difference in the media rights?
70 million.
Between
no, the difference is about 40 million.
40 million between 14 schools, so it's nothing budget wise.
No, wait, I'm sorry.
40 million.
I was about to make this same comment.
Tim, I guess I'm not understanding what you're asking. You said the difference between the media.
Joey just brought up the news that came out. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whatever it was? And the question was, there's the media rights. There was something was wrong with it. They screwed up somewhere.
Oh, it's nothing. It's less than 1%.
Right. So I mean, so that's something people are throwing out. It's the Big Ten deal still crushes pretty much everybody.
Well, my point was that we thought everybody had signed off on it, and turns out they had not. That was my point. I think sometimes we look too much into things as college football fans, and we looked into the Big Ten contract and said, hey, it's a done deal, it's signed off on, and they're getting all this money. And not necessarily not so fast, because now all of a sudden they've sold rights to something they don't have rights to sell to.
I mean, it's less than a 1% differential.
Yeah. And the whole thing with the ACC is I just don't think there's enough homes for how many teams have to split off? Is it 6, 7? How many teams have to go in order to vote to break it up?
I love that. I love that bar, Mike. I know exactly what you're talking about. Sorry, I just had to. I got this guy. It is Mike. He's from Isla Mirada. Like, I actually grew up in Tavernier Key, and he's in Isla Mirada. So we always kind of reminisce about Florida Keys stuff. So yeah, I know. Hey, so I've got a question for you guys. Would it bother you if I know we're here to talk about this, if I dropped a link and anybody wanted to come on and ask a question and we brought them on one at a time and not like had 12 people on here talking at the same time, because I really cannot stand the everybody talking at once kind of thing. Is that okay with y'all?
Sure,
I'm me.
That's fun.
Okay, cool. So yeah, if anybody wants to come on and get
happy to help if I can.
Right. If anyone wants to come on and ask a question or anything like that, yeah, this is not an Edward stream. So I'm going to make sure you promise that you do not peep down.
You gotta promise me that you won't do it.
You have to promise me before you come on that you're not going to pee bomb. Otherwise, you cannot. So look, here's the link. Now I always put up an overlay.
Tim, I remember the first time we had a mooner on the post game shows.
Yeah, poor Edward. I feel so bad for that guy. I mean, he had just a full on 3-minute, spit
he put a lot
video
into that channel. And
he was
jackass to go ruin it for him. It's just we got to find that guy. That guy. What's your problem, dude? Someone seriously has no life. Do something like that.
Well, imagine picking on Edward. I mean, of all people, it's like, come on, at least pick on somebody that realizes you're picking. I don't know. It was just lame.
Yeah.
I hate that. I really feel sorry for him.
But everybody
I hope
does
he
that
gets a new
forever.
channel.
And I hate that forever, but everybody does it to him.
Right. It's absolutely horrible. But no, I mean, I just think this whole thing's interesting. It's kind of like folding out, you know, what I see happening down the road with the, with the 12-team playoff and all that jazz. It kind of seems like this is opening the doors and getting it ready.
The other thing is it's just wonderful for Miami too.
No, I mean I'm proud that
it's a validation of everything that Miami's leadership has been doing. So
I mean Miami does a ton of research, a ton of especially the oceanic stuff, the all this. They do a lot of work trying to scientific work that I think is really cool. Yeah, Mike. Do you remember the Mike's talking about Tavernier Key now? Do you remember the private airport there in Tavernier Key? That's where my grandparents they bought a house there, and we had that house through the 70s and 80s there at the private airport in Tavernier, right behind the marina there that backs up to the marina. That's exactly where I grew up at. I grew up riding my little bicycles and shit up and down that runway. It was a great childhood. I can't think of anywhere else I would have rather grown up at. Coolest place in the world.
Now, who is Uncle Lou talking about that he thinks 8 ACC teams are going to vote to dissolve the ACC? Going to vote to dissolve the ACC.
I did drop the link. Lou is welcome to join us and give us his opinion on it.
I don't think any of us.
Uncle Lou is wise. By the way, Uncle Lou, your shows have been great lately.
Well, my point is Uncle Lou, 8 schools are going to get picked up. There's some of those schools. Sure, Clemson is going to be fine. Florida State, Miami, those are going to have homes. But who are the other 5 schools are guaranteed to be picked up by the Big 10 or the SEC? How are they going to get a better? They're in a better position now to stay in the ACC than they would be going and being left out, which is the problem. I don't see what teams are going to get picked up by.
And remember, the Big 12 people want the Big 12 pays less than the ACC does now, even under their new extension.
Right. Now. The thing about it was it's like the 8 remaining members gave up $11 million a year to bring in the 4 new members to help them. Then they were paid back with the buyout from Texas and Oklahoma. So, but still, they gave up a lot.
Okay, Joey, I just brought Lou on, so let's
okay. Uncle Lou.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Mr. Lou.
Yeah, Huffer Billy Paul thinks eight teams in the ACC are going to vote to dissolve the ACC, and if there's no ACC, there's no grant of rights. But who's voting to dissolve the conference they're in, knowing there's no conference for them to go to? So that's just not. I don't think that's going to happen. There's not 8 teams that would get taken. So who's going to vote to put themselves out on the street? Nobody.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I know he thinks Clemson
maximum.
could go. I think I really said the other night he thought Clemson could go independent for a while.
They're gonna do something. They're not gonna stay where they are. So the ACC can pound sand one way or the other. So it doesn't really matter if they don't want to vote for it. They better do something because Clemson's not gonna stay there. And
Clemson. Why doesn't Clemson just leave now?
Well, they're this close, Lou. I'll tell you, it's less than 18 months.
Clemson's not going to leave now because nobody would take
them. No. They have a
no one's going to take Clemson when they can't show their games on TV. It's not going to happen.
They're not. Trust me. They don't care. They care.
They
that's
care.
What they're about. No, they're about to cut their nose off, spot their face.
They're not going to leave the ACC because they're only getting $40 million so that they can make $0 million.
They are. They're very, very determined.
You know what would happen if Clemson wasn't on TV for 2 seasons?
Well, they don't.
You know what would happen?
They don't care.
They'd be Colorado overnight.
They don't care. I'm just saying that's how determined they are.
Well, it sounds like you don't care, but I promise you Clemson cares. I promise people cashing those checks care.
They are going to do some things, and I'm not saying it's going to be because they got to get the legal stuff right, but they're in the process, and they've said it over and over again. We're going to make sure we do the right thing for us, and we don't have to care about everybody else. If they don't want to do it, that's fine. So that's what they're going to do, and it'll be ugly. So there'll be a big.
They won't be able to be on TV until 2036.
So,
well, no one's going to come play for your school if they can't be on TV.
You don't have to have a football program.
Well, wait.
So you're going to give up $40 million to make $0 million just to prove a point?
Right. Yeah. Realistically, that's never happening.
They're not going to sit there and get stuck like this for the next 20 or 15 years. They're not. They're going to take it to the court. They're going to try and take it to the court.
What are they going to do?
We'll see. Let's let them do it. There's a lot of folks who are saying they have it all lined up. It's just timing, and they got to do it this way and that way. And they got a few things they got to do. But I don't know. I don't have the clue. Nobody's telling me how they're going to do it. I'm just saying that.
I think the problem with the ACC. I think the problem with the ACC is the people, the 7 teams that have gotten together. Is they don't have, there's no landing spot for all of them, right? There might be some.
Well,
might be
there's
one
places.
For Clemson, there might be one for Clemson and Florida State, obviously.
North
but
Carolina,
there's not for everybody.
North Carolina, they're going to have a landing spot. You don't think
where?
You don't think North Carolina will land in like probably the big? Is where I will think eventually. They're AAU already, aren't they? I think they are.
But you think they would land over Miami?
Hang on. Tony, is North Carolina AAU?
Oh yeah, North Carolina is fabulous. Yeah. But here's the problem with North Carolina. Nobody watches their football games.
Right.
But are they AAU?
Yeah. Oh yeah. North Carolina and
Duke. Okay, so they are.
Yeah, North Carolina and Duke and UVA. Also UVA. Nobody watches their football games. They might as well add Arizona. Arizona has similar football viewing to North Carolina, and they're not talking about adding Arizona.
In my opinion, Huck Billy, and this is just my opinion, I think the teams that can land somewhere have to be in a footprint or something. So, like Pitt and Virginia Tech can land in the Big 12 pretty easy because Cincinnati and West Virginia would be like, "Hey, let's bring them in." Right? Problem is, they're not 2 of the 7 teams that are saying they want to move.
And also the other problem is that the Big 12 paid less than the Big 12 will continue to pay less than the ACC contract is for every year. There's no year that the Big 12 contract is more than the ACC contract. So as a result of that, nobody is going to want to leave the ACC to join the Big 12 and get less money.
So they just want to stay with a zombie conference until it drops dead.
Looks like poor little old Clemson is just stuck out in the rain.
I actually don't think it's going to stay that way. I honestly don't. I don't think it's going to stay that way for long. Less than 18 months.
Plus, you can't come to you can't come to the SEC. The SEC is putting in that rule where if you storm the field, you lose a home game the following year. That means Clemson would never have a home game ever.
That we don't storm the field anyway.
Yeah, you do. Even after a loss, it's embarrassing.
No, it's not storming. It's a meeting at the pole.
What you call it doesn't matter. You're not allowed to go on the field. You lose a home game.
Well, you wait. You got to wait 5 minutes after the game before you can go on the field. But yeah, you don't go on the field immediately. Come on. Let the teams get off. Security's got to be taken care of.
I don't know if y'all know this or not, but he splits tens, so I wouldn't listen to anything he says. He splits tens in blackjack, so just remember that when you're listening to what he's saying.
Hey, I love Upper Billy.
You just give me
I do too.
Time. Give me a hard time, Lou. That's okay. But I'm telling you.
I do too. But when I'm sitting on a 19 and Huffer Billy Paul's to my left and he's got a 20 and the dealer has a 5, a bus card, and this man splits tens and takes all the dealer's bus cards, that makes me mad.
I looked at you and I asked, and you said, "What the hell are you talking about?" That was a joke, dude. That was a joke. God almighty.
There should be a rule against all of us being led into a casino at the same time. Anyway,
you can't have us in there. We have too much fun.
Yeah, we had a
But
good time.
no, I don't
That's
think
funny.
the ACC is going to sit there on this grant of rights thing for more than 24 months. No more than 24, but probably 18. I really do think there's going to be a break here. And it's just because they can't afford to sit there. They're just dying on the vine.
well, wait. Let me ask this question. So when does the ACC contract? What is the year on that it's supposed to dissolve?
2036.
36.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah, that's a long time.
Wait, here's my question. I got a question. Lou, who would the SEC take from the ACC?
Well, if you just pretend there's no contracts or anything else, just like if they magic 8-ball and get whoever they want,
Yeah.
I think they would take another Florida school, whether that was Florida State or Miami. I think they would take Clemson. TV market deal, they'd probably take a North Carolina team and a Virginia team.
Okay.
Virginia Tech looks like it might be close to where they want to be.
Where does that
Virginia's
lie,
really good,
Tony?
but-
Well, let me ask Tony. Where does that lie with your numbers? Does that add up?
Yeah,
or-
I'm curious about that too. So a lot of people talk about Virginia going to Virginia Tech or going to Virginia instead of going to West Virginia. Where do the numbers lie in television viewership and marketing value?
I mean, so
What do you mean? Are there
I'd
more
have to look
TVs
at-
in Virginia or West
I've
Virginia?
never bothered to compare West Virginia to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I'm just
That'd be a whole-
looking at the area, the recruiting area, right? So if you can take West
I don't.
Virginia, you're gonna get
So here's the
recruits.
thing. I'll be totally honest with you, and I know like fans disagree with me. Like these are not decisions that are made based on recruiting areas.
No, they're based on viewership and mostly
It's
that.
it's institution, it's overall athletics, it's TV money, and it's making sure you're not a problem child.
Yep.
So like for example, like certain institutions that are notorious for problems, like I don't know. Let's
What, like
use
Miami?
an example. If Auburn, well, I was going to use Auburn as an example, but like if Auburn needed a new home, yeah, I mean that in all honesty, that's one of the questions that people have raised about realignment debate is do the long history of very like significant problems raise eyebrows for Miami or for Florida State? I mean,
I don't think so. They took Southern Cal.
yeah, okay. I was just going to bring that up.
I mean, that's another
Southern
problem
Cal
child.
and Southern
And
Cal and
UCLA.
Miami are like the
And
two most
UCLA.
penalized team this century.
SMU's only worse.
Oh, I know.
always
It's
amazed-
probably what
I'm
they
sure
get
you guys
to
are actually serious about what you're saying. I'm always amazed at what people think about what happened at USC.
Okay, can we
crushes me
not
when
get
I
into
hear
that
it.
subject?
Well, USC was cheating. They got caught. They vacated wins. They gave back a Heisman. I mean, that's what happened.
They were accused of knowing
Hey,
or
we're
should
not
have
going there.
known.
Okay, I gotta go. I can't
Yeah.
do
They
it.
were buying houses and apartments for players and their families. I mean, that was cheating. I mean, that's just
Who was
what
the
it
School
was.
didn't provide it.
USC wasn't involved in that.
Right.
Okay, so what we are doing here is we are looking forward to what's going on in the
Thank you.
but-
Thank
but
you.
upcoming
history-
time. Let's not go backwards.
Yeah.
If USC
say
wasn't
Miami.
cheating, then nobody has ever cheated.
The reason for my
Well,
question,
that's
Tony.
just it.
is-
All right, let's
and
move
I'm
forward.
I'm
just
going to
trying
say
to
that
look
the
at.
I
entire
mean, no one's ever
SEC
been given a
called out
check.
cheaters.
No one's ever been given a check with the school's name on it.
When the SEC starts calling out other schools for cheating, for buying players and stuff, come on, that's just
Yeah, here we go. Now the
ridiculous.
SEC. Okay, yeah. So the SEC is just better at it, and the other schools are dumb and get caught. This is the excuse I hear all the time. But okay.
No, your commissioner basically said, "Hey, shh, nobody tell on each other. We're just gonna cheat our nuts off, and then we're just gonna keep going. And if you tell on someone,
Right.
then you're gonna be looked down upon."
Right.
I mean, that's what happened.
Until someone else starts winning, and then they're only winning because they're cheating. Okay.
Tennessee told on a lot of people.
I mean, I'm going to say this right out. I think that every single college football team has probably cheated at one time or another. So,
well, it's all legal now, so I don't know why.
right, and it's all legal now, so none of this really matters. Let's look forward.
And some of them did it, and they still couldn't win.
Right, exactly.
I mean, Texas
Tennessee.
A&M.
Yeah, Texas A&M,
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Texas A&M.
Jesus Christ. It wasn't Tennessee handing out like money in Happy Meals or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They still suck.
Well, Texas A&M didn't too.
Yeah, it'll be funny. But no, I do think that this is kind of like a foreshadowing of what's coming. That's my opinion. I might be wrong. I was wrong twice last year, which
nothing happened.
Was like a record. I kind of do too. I wish everything would stay like it is. But now that we're going to a 12-team playoff, I think that's going to mix everything up.
You were wrong. At least 8 times last year, maybe 9.
You must not be talking to me. I mean, I said Miami was going to go 372 and they didn't. So that was one time.
And every week they were going to win too.
Joey, you sound like Lou now. You were wrong 9 times last year.
Nick Saban said the SEC is not taking any more teams, and if they do, we're going to 4 conference games.
So honestly, Lou, let me ask you this. So what happened? I kind of caught the end of your show tonight. So what happened with the AC or with the SEC? They voted to go to 8 conference games, and
we had 8 teams. We had 8 teams ready to vote yes on a 9-game conference schedule, which is all we needed. All you need is 50% plus 1 to go to a 9-game schedule. Alabama was included in that yes vote. And Nick Saban changed his mind. Nick Saban likes to talk a big game, but then not back it up. We all know the speech he loves to give about, I think everybody should play 12 Power 5 teams.
Yeah.
Well, you have the ability to do that anytime you want to, Nick, but you choose not to. So Nick Saban talked for 6 months that he wanted a 9-game conference schedule. The SEC went around for a year, got 8 teams on board for the 9-game schedule. Saban changed his mind once he found out that he was going to have to play Auburn, LSU, and Tennessee every year, and that was it. Fell apart.
Well, you found out his quarterback would be Tyler Buckner, and he was going to have Tommy Reese as his offensive coordinator, and he changed his mind.
That too.
Saban's from West Virginia. We can't never make up our mind about anything.
And his middle name is Lou, so you can't really trust anything he says anyway. Nick Lou Saban.
So do you? I mean, seriously, do you really think
that's really what happened?
Do you think that the ACC, or at least the grant of rights in the ACC, is unbreakable and everybody's going to stay there until 2030? Do you really believe that's going to be the way it works?
Yes.
Till 2036?
Unless ESPN renegotiates the money, but I don't think the grant of rights is going away.
What's in it for ESPN to renegotiate the money? That's what nobody can answer for me.
Well, you know who? Well, so this came up on our show yesterday, and it was Rick that brought it up. And tell me if this is right or wrong, because it sounded pretty legit to me. If somehow the Big Ten does get Notre Dame, and let's say they got Notre Dame and they picked off, I don't know, a Washington or something like that. That wouldn't be enough to probably force the SEC into trying to grab some more teams, or no?
Oh, yeah. If the Big Ten does something, I think the SEC will do it too.
And so then they're, it's kind of weird. It's been set up this way, right? It's aligned with the Big Ten is Fox, and the ESPN's all in on the SEC. So then they might be willing. They got a great deal ripping off. Well, not ripping off. It was a contract, right? They signed a contract. They signed a bad contract, but it might in the long run be better for them to blow that or renegotiate or figure something out in order to strengthen, which is their big money, is their SEC conference.
Yeah, but they won't even give the SEC more money for Texas and Oklahoma. That's another sticking point with the 9-game conference. Some people are voting no because ESPN won't pay more money.
That's good leverage. I think eventually they might cave on that as well. If they get one more, well, they wouldn't one more. They'd get what? How many more SEC games if they add that 9th game? So that'd be,
which I think is ridiculous. I mean, I get it that everybody wants to make more money tomorrow than they made today, but it's not. The SEC is not the ACC or the Pac-12. I mean, it's not like the SEC's head is barely above water here. That they're doing fine. They could survive on what they're making now and play a 9-game conference schedule.
But that is interesting that they pick up teams like the weight of Texas and Oklahoma, and they don't have to pay 1 more cent towards that contract.
But here's the thing: Sankey's a boss, and Sankey ain't gonna give in.
TF, can you put up? I just put a graph on there. Can you put it up?
I already did it. I already got it.
Yep, good deal.
All right, what does this graph mean?
Do you notice something there?
Don't see it. I can't even.
This
read
is
that.
bang for the buck.
I'm sorry.
This is how good your team is.
Well, Tony, you were breaking up really bad, Tony.
Are you good? Like, are you a good deal or are you a bad deal?
So how much money your program spends to how well you've done? Is that what this does? And don't look to the bottom. TF, don't look to the bottom right though.
Yeah, your budget to your success. Right. Don't look to the bottom right, TF.
Miami.
You guys have your own square, dude.
Oh wow, Miami and Auburn.
With Miami and Auburn.
Hey man, our cheerleaders are better looking than most of y'all, so I'm gonna stick with that.
They are.
Hang on.
Anyway.
Well,
then we got to put Oregon up there as well. So God dang it.
Yeah, Oregon's got some hot ones. Southern Cal ain't bad either.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is I think it's all, it's going to get interesting. I don't see it staying till the 2035 or any of that, but I don't think it's something that's going to happen tomorrow as well. So,
well, this is why Lou and I just disagree on the ACC. I think there's so
as long as you and Lou don't start arguing about whether or not a 3-loss, what was it, a 3-loss team's going to make it as the number
3-loss Pac-12 champion.
As long as we don't go back on that argument tonight, then I'm fine.
Well, it's probably going to happen if you're going to do the auto bid.
No, stop it.
They got to stop the auto bid stuff.
A 3-loss Pac-12 champion is never getting a bye. Just stop.
Well, 3-loss Boise State, mate. I mean, hell, I don't know. They shouldn't have auto bids. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Now, damn it, why did I even bring this up? Shit.
Yeah,
we're back down that road.
No.
We're not going down that road tonight. We are not going down that road.
We're okay.
So I've got. I'm just curious because I've not heard where Lou stands on this, or Tim or Tony either, or Upper Billy. I've got Penn State as a sleeper in the Big Ten to win the Big Ten and make the playoffs.
Me too. I don't know if I'll pick them to win it, but this is the best shot they've had since 2016.
I agree, 100%.
Prove it. I'm just waiting. I'm still waiting, Franklin. Still waiting, brother. I ain't believing it until he shows me. I'm in Missouri now. Show me.
Yeah, but you're an ACC guy. I don't even have an ACC making the
playoffs.
No,
I like Franklin. I've always liked Franklin. It pisses me off. He hasn't done shit since he's been there. I mean,
he hasn't done shit but win 10 games a year.
Well, no, the problem is Harbaugh shouldn't have surpassed him. He was there before him. He should have already done it. And this is ridiculous. I mean, come on, man.
As a Miami fan, 10 games a year, it sounds really good.
Yeah, this is the best team. This is the best team Franklin's had. Since anybody that can win 10 games at Vanderbilt for 3 years in a friggin' row, gotta be a pretty damn good coach.
Yeah, I agree with you.
This is the best team he's ever had at Penn State.
If their quarterback ends up being what people say, then they're going to be a problem because they might have the best defense in the Big Ten. They've got probably the second best running game in the Big Ten behind that. Nick Singleton is a grown man.
Yep.
And if Drew Allar is anywhere near what people say he is, because Sean Clifford was vanilla ice cream. I mean, that guy did he ever win an important game in 4 years? I don't think so.
No.
But if Drew Allar is the real deal, they get one of them at home and one on the road, they got to find a way to split that at least. They can't go 0-2 against them this year, but I don't know. We'll see.
I'm pulling. Look, I give them a hard time, but I'm pulling for them because I like.
Well, we're not going to learn. We're not going to learn anything week 1
Yeah.
for Penn State. They play West Virginia. That's not even going to be a game. I mean, we don't have a coach that could coach us to beat Marshall right now. So but
You're singing my tune.
Yeah, I mean,
I like Baylor man says a 3-loss Pac-12 team might win a game of blackjack, but not go to the playoffs. So,
and look, I like Neil Brown as a person. And he's a great coach. Sunday,
they might
Friday.
not even win blackjack
on Saturday.
Right? They'd probably cut it at 10, or they would.
Shit.
Damn, Twisted. That's bad,
whatever the hell it is.
No, it's but I do want Franklin to win. I'm so mad because he hasn't done it yet. I mean, geez, man. Come on.
He did it in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he lost to Helton, which kind of negates the whole thing.
He should have done something by now.
Hey, leave Helton alone. He's down here in Georgia Southern now.
I like Helton. I don't want him coaching my team. That's all.
Don't be dissing on my man Helton. Yeah.
I like Clay. Just don't coach my team.
Yeah.
Nah, I look. I don't think Penn State is out of the running. I just don't think until they do it. I don't trust it. I just don't. Show me.
Hey, are either of the Arizona schools going to be any good?
No.
They lost too much. I mean, they got USC. USC took their best corner, their best receiver, and their best defensive lineman. And that's just
I just saw Tony unmute as well. So
took our best defensive lineman too.
And what's going to be even better is it's going to be a 5-way race to the bottom. Probably a 4-way race to the bottom between the two Arizona schools, Colorado and Stanford.
Yeah, when was the last time the Pac-12 was this top heavy and this bottom heavy?
Yeah, I mean, it is top heavy and bottom heavy. There's nothing.
Or you're a 9-10 win team. That's the two different categories in the Pac-12 this year.
Nothing in the middle.
Well, I think Lou has recently spoken out against Colorado and got a lot of flack for that.
Look, any friggin' idiot that thinks the coach is going to come in there, and that Deion Sanders is going to come in there, and all of a sudden they're going to become an 8 or 9 or 10 win program.
Why? That's what I hear from the Big 12 fans.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
Colorado's the greatest thing since sliced bread. They're terrible.
Yeah.
What is he, the Wizard of Oz? I mean, Jesus.
He's the whiz. He's the whiz, man. I'll take the flack off of you, Lou. They can send their comments to me. He's Richard Pryor in the whiz.
By the way, Lou, I think your assessments have been spot on in CU.
Yeah, you've been on. Lou's pretty right.
I mean, how many games do y'all think they can win? 4 or 5?
Yeah, exactly.
5, maybe.
No, I don't think they win more than 4.
3, 2.
I mean, if they get a couple of injuries, and everybody gets a couple of injuries, but even the good players they brought in, if any of those guys go down, I can't imagine them in the second half of October and November. They're just going to be horrible.
That's what fans don't realize. Schools like Alabama,
Lou, I think you're spot on.
Well, they don't realize.
I think they may be able to pull an upset. They might pull 1 or 2 upsets in a year. But I mean, Colorado State is the only game they're probably going to be favored in, right?
But it's an improvement. I mean, let's be honest.
100% improvement because last year they couldn't have beat a Pee Wee team.
Yeah, they were ass.
Right. I think they're gonna go uphill. I mean, I think they will probably likely get one signature win this year that'll make him look like he's doing something, and which he is doing something by being there. I mean, I like Deion Sanders. He's awesome. Now, and I think they'll probably get one signature win and go, 4 wins or something like that. And then next year they'll probably get 5, and then the year after they'll get 7 or 8, and then he'll leave and go somewhere bigger and leave Colorado in the dust.
So would a signature win be game 1, Colorado beating TCU? Would that be a signature win?
That's not going to happen. So stop.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's going to happen.
TCU may not be that good this year, so they might beat them, and then TCU goes on to lose 5 games.
Even TCU is going to beat them. I mean, come on. Yeah, no.
The issue is football's a violent sport, and like Lou said, they might have some good guys on their front on their the line, their first string line, right? But as USC found out, you start losing linemen. If you have no depth, then you're exposed, and that's really what's going to happen quickly to an already depleted roster at Colorado. Guys are going to get hurt, or they'll be played banged up, and they're going to lose games because they don't have depth.
I know they brought in a few more guys even after the spring game, but my God, that defensive line, it looked like a middle school team.
It's not even close.
They were tiny.
Yeah. They're only
there's some good O lines
pounds.
in the Pac-12 this year, especially like Oregon State and some of those. There's some big, really good lines that are going to run through some of the Arizona schools. Their defenses were trash last year. They're even worse now. And the haves have good offensive lines. The have-nots have bad defensive lines. And it's going to get ugly.
I think Washington might win the Pac-12.
Very likely, yeah.
I'm still interested in Oregon. I really am. I want to see what's going to happen there.
They lost their offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
I know. And I think a lot of their success on offense and Bo Nix, Bo Nix looked great. I mean, I shot my mouth off, but he had a great season. I think a lot of that was because the system he was running, the plays that he was calling, Dillingham did a great job. He looked comfortable back there. He really looked comfortable back there, and he was playing well. I wonder
Dan Lanning coached against him 3 years in a row, so he knew what Bo Nix's strengths were. Like the running around, he is like a magician back there with the running around.
Yeah.
So I think Colorado, like down the road, is under Dion is going to be a like well improved team. I mean, he's going to recruit really well. He went down there, he stole. I mean, we had that 1 5-star who was all about himself, kind of in my opinion, and was letting his mom run his social media stuff. And, he was about to commit to Miami. And then it was like last minute, it's like, oh, change my mind. I'm going here. And then Dion fires kicks everybody off the team. And he's like, well, I've got a couple 5-stars. Yeah, they're freshmen. And so I think that down the road, 2 or 3 years in, he's going to obviously, and if he can pull it off like the next couple seasons and steal away a bunch of people and recruit really well, he will end up. But anybody who thinks that they're going to come out there this year and be a badass team is just a fucking idiot.
But that's the thing. These people aren't college football fans. They're Deion Sanders fans. And they're like, oh, Cormani McClain. Cormani McClain is going to get eaten alive in the Pac-12. Every other week, he's playing an NFL quarterback with 3 NFL wide receivers. If Cormani McClain starts at corner for Colorado against Southern Cal or Washington or Oregon, he's going to get eaten alive as a freshman.
Right, but now realistically, like tell me if I'm crazy. Now in year, say Dion's going to probably get 3 or 4 wins this year, maybe 5 or 6 next year if he keeps picking away, and then all of a sudden he gets a good job. I mean, he's thinking of himself. I think he's not really thinking about these kids. He's not thinking about anything else. He's thinking about himself. So if in 4 years from now he brings Colorado up, and 1 win this year, 2 more wins next year, adds up, he'll get taken by a bigger team. Now, if he can convince these kids to go with him to a larger school or something like that and go, then they will have then he has a chance. I'm not counting Dion out. I like Dion, but he's doing this for himself, is my opinion.
Let me ask you a question. Better coach. Who's going to have a better record in the year? Deion Sanders, Matt Rule, or Luke Fickell?
Luke Fickell.
Might have been an unfair question. Probably ought to ask just between Matt Rule and
even Matt Rule.
Matt Rule's going to beat Dion.
Yes, sir.
Week 3.
I agree.
I think it's week 3 or week 2.
Week 2. Yeah, week 2.
Yeah, he's going to do horrible this year. And like we were talking, Lou, at the thing, there's people actually like betting, putting all this money out that on Deion Sanders in Colorado, and
I don't get it.
I don't either. I don't see it.
Well, that's easy money. That's easy money. Take it, run with it. He doesn't have the team yet. I mean, come on. It's common sense.
Hey, I gotta go. Y'all done kept me up past my bedtime.
Luke,
hey, I appreciate y'all having me on, though. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on, man.
Uncle Lou, just so you know, we love your show. You're doing awesome stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'll talk to y'all later.
All
right, see you, buddy.
Take care.
Bye.
I'm still trying to figure out. Here's the thing with Deion Sanders. I'm not saying he can, or I don't know if he can or he can't coach. Period. He had really good players, right? Playing at FCS school, but he had all the talent, right? He had the best players, so of course he's winning lots of games. What's going to happen when he goes to, a conference, even like the Pac-12, which now, maybe not 2 years ago, but now there's some pretty damn good coaches in the Pac-12. How do we know that his staff's going to out coach? Because he's certainly not going to have the better players.
Well,
at least in year one and year two.
No, I'll say this. This is the part, Tim, that people don't really realize. He does hire good. I don't know how. I'm not going to tell you. I can't divine how, but he does have pretty good staff. If you drill down on who he's got, so that's the part that I am going to give him credit for.
Are you saying there might be some coming out of his pocket to get them or something?
I don't know how he does it. But he's got some really good staff. The people who are there coaching are good coaches. Not Deion himself. Deion's the motivator, the head guy, right? But these guys are good coaches. Most of those guys in there. So that's the part that I'm fascinated about. That's what we should be more focused on, actually.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that I know he had Tim Brewster on as a position coach somewhere. I mean, he used to be the coach at Minnesota, right?
Yep.
And then he's got Charles Kelly and Sean Lewis as his coordinators.
I'll be right back, guys.
Tim, you're Tim. Okay, I was making sure it wasn't Mitt. Did you get that thing in the mail today?
I did. Yes, thank you. I did.
Okay, cool. Did you put that on your car yet?
Oh no, sorry. I got the package and I have not yet opened it up. My bad.
Oh, you haven't even opened it up yet?
Yeah. It came late, and then my son brought it in and threw it on the couch,
okay.
And then I didn't realize until you texted me. I thought it was just some Amazon crap, so I didn't really look at it. But I will. I promise you that as soon as regardless of what it is, hopefully it doesn't get me fired tomorrow. But it's going to go on my car. And it'll be sitting there in the staff parking lot. If I lose my job, you can explain to my wife and my kids why Dad doesn't have a job anymore. Okay.
Okay, man. I do. Okay. I will explain that all day long.
All right.
Because
Right. You know how those realtors are.
Yeah, I mean, these realtors up there in Spokane, man, you got to be careful what you're doing.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
It's funny though. I mean, I do like the fact that we have the drama. This is great drama in the off season. The whole Notre Dame, Miami, well, they all that in the ACC, and the Pac can't get a freaking TV deal, and everybody's thinking about leaving, and I get it. I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty. I don't think the Big 12 is going to stay at the level they're at revenue wise. I really don't. I mean, I hear you, Tony. I do. But I don't think they're going to stay there for long. I really don't. I think they're going to be the pot boils over. They're going to be the boil over part. So I think they're going to get some benefit.
It's going to be interesting to see how they keep the entire country involved when it becomes more like for a long time. It was basically the SEC, right? College football was the SEC.
Yeah.
Last year, Ohio State, they popped up, and then again they were pretty close to winning this thing. But there's not much behind them. I mean, you guys, I'll take you guys' word for Penn State. I'm kind of with Hufferbilly. I'll believe it when I see it. But what's going to happen when it's so you have 12 games. And was it the first 5 go to auto bids, right? The 5 highest conference rated champions go. But then you have 7. What's going to happen when there's like 3 Big Ten and
top 6 go right now?
Top 6? Okay. So then there's
top 6 conference champions.
And there's 6 at large. So what's going to happen when the at large bids are like maybe 3 SEC, 2 Big Ten, and like 1, I don't know, let's just say Pac-12 or Big 12 teams. Where's the excitement going to be when there's like 1 or your whole conference gets 1 or 2, and then you have the SEC and the Big Ten that have like, I don't know, 4. And so 2/3 of the playoffs is Big Ten and SEC teams.
Tim,
and that's why these conferences are going to change.
Yeah, it kind of has to. They kind of have to, don't they?
So here's the thing.
I love the way Hufferbilly. I love the way that's like Hufferbilly's token saying.
It's pissing me off.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing.
when you have auto bids with these conferences that aren't worth a fat baby's ass, okay, and they're gonna get in there. That's the part that kills me. I don't.
What conference is that though?
The Big 12. I think you're talking about the Big 12, Joey.
No.
That's
it's
what
not
I'm
the
wondering.
Big
Talking about the
12
Big 12?
necessarily. It's whatever
Pac?
the other. Well, there's a bunch of conferences out there, right, guys?
But they're not got automatic
Look at those
bids. You said
athletes.
automatic bids.
Yeah, but conferences, they're going to take the top 6 conferences. Top 6 people, they're in 6 conferences is worth a damn. Come on, let's be real.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's how they're going to.
Hey, let me just make sure right now that this is actually Rec Talk.
Oh, it is. It is. You want me to show my cam?
Yeah.
No. I hear your voice now.
Now we know it's you.
Oh, good.
Hey.
I'm not getting Edwarded, man. I'm just throwing up a something over time. Look at this big group of slobs
awesome,
right here.
man.
I can't wait to get together with all you guys and have this softball game. I'm so totally looking forward to that.
Where's the game this year?
It's in the same place as last year. Athens.
It's
you see the guy on the left over there, the skinny guy? Damn.
Who, Millis?
No. Golden Blue dude. We're going to miss him, man.
Oh, I know. He would absolutely love this conversation right now. I mean, Golden Blue dude would be like exploding right now had he all this conference realignment. No.
We wouldn't get a word in with him.
No. All right, Pete,
he would talk for an hour nonstop and not even take a breath.
But the auto bid thing, man. I mean, I don't mind it if it's the top 12 teams, but Jesus Christ, the auto bids that's a bunch of bullshit. That's all.
Hey, them academics though.
Them academics.
I love that academics talk, man. I was thinking y'all might talk about derivatives and stuff. You didn't do it, but
well, are you AAU yet at Georgia Tech?
We made AAU. We're a founding member.
Are you? Right.
No, I think they're right. It was like 2001.
Yeah.
And see, that's why I could really see Georgia Tech moving with Miami and going that direction to the big.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why we lost our AD, to my understanding, to Clemson. Is the Big Ten had courted us before. I mean, they ended up taking Maryland. And for
what a kick in the nuts.
For whatever reason, so we left the ACC or the SEC. Then we had a chance to go to the Big Ten, and we were like, nah, we're good. I mean, Georgia Tech, if you think the ACC's been behind the times, Georgia Tech has been behind the times for a while. I mean, we even ran the triple option for a day.
Well, let me ask you this, Rex. So, wait, do you think they brought in USF as like like a card in their sleeve just in case Georgia Tech kept sucking so bad that they could bring in a new team that was better or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I admittedly don't know much about South Florida, but that they would want South Florida above us kind of makes me want to physically assault someone right now. I mean, like, oh my God.
LW is like Georgia Tech to the Mountain West.
There you go. You know what? The heck with all you guys, man. Georgia Tech's awesome. Y'all are, I'm calling the jelly school because I think you're all jelly how great Georgia Tech is. No, but I do want to kill Jeff Collins because he ran our program into the ground, leading us into conference realignment, and we had to pay him $11.5 million for the privilege of him doing that to us. So
can I ask a question to Hupper Billy?
Yeah,
Hupper Billy, you hate the auto bids, but let me just ask a question. Let's say Clemson opens up the season against a non-conference team like Maryland and beats the crap out of Maryland, then plays a cupcake and wins it, and then they've got to go on the road to LSU and they lose. All right, so they've got a loss already, not in the ACC, but they got a loss, and then they go to their ACC conference schedule and they're just running the table. But then the last game of the year they play a 4-5 or 4-6 Miami team, and they lose that game, and they drop in the polls. They're at number 7, and they drop from 7th to 13th. Then they win their ACC championship game, but so does everybody else that's ahead of them wins too. What shouldn't they get the auto bid to get into the playoffs?
No, absolutely not.
So they got one loss in the ACC.
No,
but they
suck.
won the ACC championship, and they don't deserve to be in the playoffs.
They suck, and when you suck, you don't go to the playoffs. I'm sorry.
HBP is such an elitist. You don't deserve the ACC.
Yeah. I don't like these fucking auto bids. I don't care.
We know. We know. Nightbot says K-Dog is the man.
Right. K-Dog dropped his own link, so I was just putting it out there for everybody to see. I love K-Dog. K-Dog's my friend, so
K-Dog's
cool.
I like K-Dog too.
Yeah,
Georgia
I
Tech
tried to throw out.
well with the Sun Belt Conference. I mean, just think about that.
But
What?
they should do
You
top
can face
12.
Liberty and Appalachian State and stuff. And
Yeah. See another auto bid problem.
Nate the Great says that Georgia Tech is going to the MAC. So
You
I
know
mean that
what?
is a very good possibility as well.
All y'all are going to be bowing to Rec Talk at the end of the season. All right. So y'all just get ready, get your bowing stance, practice that because
You're getting trolled by Nate the Great, man. What's
that's
up,
when you know you've hit bottom.
Daniel Berry. I like the way that this is one thing that I will have to say. I like the way that we do get a very diverse crowd of people who come through these streams that we have here. I really do like that, and I appreciate that. And thank you to every one of you who does take the time to come in here and hang out with us, whether we're doing like random trivia night or just rambling on about nothing at all, or whether we're actually trying to have a serious conversation, which we do every now and then like tonight. So I do want to appreciate everybody who does come in here and, subs up to this channel and hits that thumbs up, supports what we're trying to do and just has fun with us. I love all of you and I appreciate it.
TF.
What's up?
TF, we all appreciate you.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah. Tony, you too, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
thanks.
all right.
All you guys are so fun.
I've had more fun, coming on here and getting to know all you guys and, sitting up late at night playing trivia with Tony and Tim and getting to know y'all and Joey and, talking smack, sitting up till 5 a.m. on Huffer Billy Paul and then trying to go out and run 40-yard dashes. We've all had our thing in Rec Talk. I've had fun teaching you how to change a tire.
I hate the core of who I am.
We've all. This is a great community, and I really love it.
By the way, Rec Talk. Speaking of Georgia Tech, I was talking with the Rumble Seat guys the other day.
That's all. Yeah, I heard you at the beginning of the show.
They're really
That's
good
awesome.
guys.
How did you get to talk with the Rumble Seat guys?
They reached out because of some calculations that I'd done about university debt, which is an issue for Georgia Tech.
Calculations, man. I like that.
Well, you guys have a lot of athletic department debt that you keep refinancing rather than paying off.
It's a lot. How much is it again? It's a substantial amount.
Yeah, it's the most of any school that hasn't recently built a stadium.
I don't know how that happened. I mean, I know we're paying a coach, but lots of teams are paying coaches.
No, you built like a huge upper deck on your stadium, and rather than pay it off, you just keep refinancing it.
Yeah, it's like 100 million, 150 million or something. You're talking about that north end zone.
Yeah.
See, Rec, you and Tony would probably be like, you and him would probably have great conversations. You should try to pull Tony in on one of your shows. He's hard to get, man. I mean, I had to pay him. I think it was, well, he asked for $1,500 to come on this show, but I ended up with like weaseling him down to free. But it was,
and he was paying him the entire bot too, so it wasn't helping.
Well, but I was paying in bot and Dogecoin, so so I did weasel him down. But no, Tony's a number analysis guy for college football, so you would probably, you guys would probably have a really good conversation. Just saying.
So
you guys, there are actually stupid people who think that like the Pac-12 sends me secret money.
Secret.
Hey, well, I did honestly make I want to say it was like it was above 8, but less than 9. I don't remember the exact number on Dogecoin. Like $1,000 on Dogecoin. So there is like funny things you can do in this world. That
there you go.
Yeah, Ponzi schemes are great.
You killed me.
So
God damn, I hope Vandy Dandy's not in this chat.
In keeping in line with the Georgia Tech theme, would you, Tony, if you came on my show, would you let me? Can I finance it? Could I finance the payment to
you? You can. You can send me some, contract futures on Dogecoin.
There you go. There you go. Or NFTs. Can I pay you in NFTs?
Yeah.
Elon Musk says it's going to the moon or Uranus or Mars.
After this is really funny. I was kind of bummed. I was hoping Cal would answer. After like these Big 12 idiots kept like claiming that I was being like secretly paid by the Pac-12, I tweeted at Cal and I said, "Hey, since all these doofuses think you guys are paying me, can I at least get free fries at the football game?"
Why did they think you were paying them?
Tony, you can't make this shit up.
You can't. No, you can't. It's the dumbest shit you ever heard in your life.
But why did they think you were paying him? Because you were saying things favorable about the
Pac? They think he's talking about the Pac like they're God, but he's just making facts, right?
They're like, he's a secret paid agent. I'm like, at first I laughed because I thought they were kidding, and then I realized they weren't kidding.
Oh yeah,
agent man.
It's hilarious.
Hey, Rec Talk.
But I'm a little offended that UC Berkeley did not offer me free garlic fries.
Rec Talk, yeah, you'll like this, Tony. You tuned in later, but we had a funny story at the beginning of the show. So Tony made a thing, like when the breaking news of Miami and Notre Dame and the other teams, USF, which is obviously the one where this is going towards. Tony put out a tweet congratulating these teams on making this new, prestigious place in academics and stuff like that. And Jeb Bush retweeted it congratulating Miami, but left out USF. But he left out US. He quote tweets.
Governor Bush did not see his public school listed, but he did congratulate the private school.
Man.
which is absolutely hilarious.
Hilarious.
Good old Jeb. Where is he now? I that's the first I've heard of Jeff. Is that tweet that he retweeted from you, Tony, in like a while?
Yeah, I mean, Jeb Bush has been gone since
I don't know. I don't
Trump
know.
eviscerated him.
It was pretty funny. I was laughing.
He's about as gone as Biden.
I mean, I'm sorry, but Biden tripping today was hilarious. But we're not going to politics. Please, let's not take this show there. I know it was funny, but
nobody cares.
If Trump had fallen down, it's funny. If the fat girl swinging off the rope swing and at the lake at the redneck girl and falls and busts her ass is funny. I mean, anybody who falls down and goes viral is
It's not
funny.
about
So,
politics. It's just
right.
making fun of these stupid people.
Yeah. Well, just people who make an ass out of themselves. It does, but yeah, please move on. I don't want this to be like political. If I fall down and I want it to go viral as well, so
I will laugh.
Pete did it. Pete fell down.
I know. You know why?
Knock kneed. Got his knock knees when he runs, man. Got his knock knees when he runs.
What just happened?
I got your sound bites, man. I invited Pete to come on here tonight. I haven't seen him. I guess he's ducking us. So.
Hey, Tony, one day come out here with us. Hang with us for a minute. You and Tim.
That'd be fun.
Come. Yeah, you should come. And we have so much fun, man.
I was so disappointed. I mean, Tim told me for months that he was coming to the Slob Olympics. He told me. And he put a job promotion like ahead of the Slob Olympics. And I was like, I mean, that showed me his true colors right there. So
I'd go homeless to go to the Slobs.
Feeding my family got in the way.
And Tony, you do realize the next Slob Olympics coming up is in Panama City, right?
I know, but isn't New York City closer to me than that?
Oh, are you not still living in Florida?
No, I mean I'm down in Florida right now, but it's like we're really far from Panama City.
Well, it's a lot closer than Georgia.
Is it? Okay, it might be. I'll take a look. That'd be fun.
Come on, man. Let's go.
You should come hang out with us, man. I mean, it's so much fun.
He'll be laughing your ass off.
Yeah, BB makes a really great point here. He says slobs.
Tony, you're going to have to get another plastic surgery to get rid of the wrinkles from all the laughing you're going to do.
No, it is a blast. I mean, everybody leaves their bullshit aside and it just comes down and has fun.
Yep.
There's no arguing. There's no people like, you know what I mean? Like all the nonsense is left aside. It's just a bunch of men and women, families and kids running around.
Kids around too,
it's a wholesome event. It's actually really fun.
Yep. Other than the dude in the pool at 2 a.m, but
right now after hours, you never know what you're gonna see. But that had nothing to do with us. And yes, Roger Dodger, paying your mortgage is overrated.
Yeah. So Tony is right. I didn't realize we're $300 million in debt at Tech in our athletic department.
Dude, y'all need to get your act together.
300.
Tony knows it. Tony knows his shit, man. That's what Tony does.
Third of $1 billion. It's just
Tony,
a really big
Tony
number.
Does for a living, Rec Talk, is Tony breaks it all down for you, man.
That's why it's not good.
Rec, go down there and fix it.
But I can't conceive of that
number.
number.
At the amount, if you look at actually like what they're paying off, they're essentially just like not paying it off. They're just like paying the credit card interest.
But is that because they don't have the money to pay it off? Like that?
I don't know.
That's kind of what it seems
so
like.
I actually showed some calculations with the and I don't know what they cut because I didn't see their final version. But we walked through some numbers with the Rumble Seat guys. Like I think your school could actually afford to assume it, because I think the problem is you guys still owe like you just built your stadium, but you did that like 20 years ago, so you're probably due for another one, like another rebuild.
So Rec, here's what you need to do. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give you advice, and if you don't want to do it, that's fine. Yeah. But what I would do is I would start a whole organization that's going to give money to the university, and all they have to do is pay on the principal. There's no interest. If you give money, it goes to the principal, and we're going to pay that on the principal. And that's all it goes to. It can't go to anything else.
So I'll just call J Bat and say, step aside, J Bat. Rec Talk's here. And I'm going to.
Yeah.
I mean, like 300 million, like you're a numbers guy, Tony. Like I'm in, I don't know, like a 15 by 10 room.
That's a lot for just debt.
If I filled my whole room with sand, would it be 300 million little grains of sand? Like I don't even know. I can't.
Who knows? It's a good question.
You can't even get there, Rick. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I don't know why.
I'm going to get Jay Bat on the phone.
Yeah. I think you need to take over the job, fix it.
They made the wrong hire. You are right about that. They should have hired me as their AD.
Yeah.
So I see Bean in the chat says Tony Altimore for Fed chair. You know what would be neat?
Well, yeah.
Tony Altimore, get this. Tony Altimore, Oliver Luck, and Nick Saban co-chairing the NCAA.
I'd take anything to let me hang out with Oliver Luck. He's cool. I'll tell you, his new conference is going to be really interesting that he's starting.
Yeah. Put Tony in charge of the Fed, though. That's what I want.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do what I can.
Yep. Go in there and take care of them.
No, I love all the breakdowns like Tony does. Like a lot of people can't appreciate the charts and the breakdowns and the numbers and things like that. But I really do appreciate him. I think it's super
works
cool.
his ass off.
I know.
Tony works his ass off making his charts.
Look, man.
Thank you guys. I just try to make them easy to. I try to take them and make them as easy to understand as we can.
You make them as close to a Burger King menu as possible for this community, and I really do appreciate that.
And it's a McDonald's
I will tell you guys, and this sounds really stupid, but like some of it is hard to make it as easy. Like it takes a whole lot of effort to simplify it to like one stupid bar chart.
No, and I love the people who don't get it when you're like trying to show this, and people are like, like why? It's like just order a number 3 with onion rings and a Diet Coke. Good for you.
Actually, here's a laugh for you. The first time I was ever at Yankee Stadium, I had like my very like South Bronx moment because the lady in front of me like could not decide what she wanted, and she's like, "Okay, can I get like a hot dog? Give me like 2 popcorns. Okay, no. Okay, I need 3 beers. Okay." And finally, the guy cuts her off and goes, "Sweetheart, it ain't the 4 seasons. Just get a hot dog."
Exactly. You got to know it. Like you don't go to the varsity and ask for like options on your meals. It's like, what do you have? What do you have? What do you have? I mean, Rec Talk's got to know this. You're gonna walk in there and you're gonna order a hot dog. What do you want? Chili on it or whatever, and some fries and a Coke, and get the hell out of line. Otherwise, you're gonna get stabbed.
Yeah, you're trying to get in and out quickly to get to a safer area. That is
so. When I was in grad school in Philly, one of the things that they teach everybody, and then they like took us all over. We all took the train over. Is they teach you like the proper way to order a Philly cheesesteak,
which is
there's like such a process.
How do you order a Philly cheesesteak?
So you just say the type of cheese. And then with or without onions.
That's it.
Obviously,
so
without.
If you want cheese whiz and onions, it's whiz wit. Yeah, wit or without.
Well, that's like going to the Waffle House in the South.
They only sell cheesesteaks. So if you're there, you're getting a cheesesteak. So you'd say like, or if you want 2, you'd be like, I want 2 provolone wit. And that's it. And then you step aside.
Yeah, I think it's funny. Like I see people in West Virginia, and like they'll invite you in for dinner or something, and they're having like what they call Philly cheesesteaks, and they're like mozzarella or provolone and stuff. And I'm like, no, there's no cheese whiz on this. You got to have cheese whiz. That's not a Philly cheesesteak. It's got to have the cheese whiz.
So, Tony, did you grow up in New York then?
No, I grew up in Michigan, and I lived in California and DC, and I went to grad school in Philly.
Okay.
So you got no idea where this guy's been.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's like a disease. He's been everywhere.
Yeah, after he started Harvard, he went on and founded Cambridge, and then shot over to Yale for a little bit, and
never.
So what he's relating it to is the same as like us South Florida, or not South Florida, but there's Southerners. When we go to like the Waffle House, and they're like, "Well, how you want your hash browns, hun?" They're always going to call you hun, and you're like smothered, covered, chunked, and diced. It's kind of the same thing. You got to know that lingo, otherwise they're just going to look at you and kick you out.
Wait, you guys? I've never been to a Waffle House. I have to go.
Oh, it's an experience.
I'm
Don't
gonna
get first
have to
Philly.
teach you how to. I'm
Tony.
gonna have to teach you how to fight first, but
Tony,
then we'll go.
Is there one near me? I don't even know. I should look. There's got to be one near me, right? We're in Florida.
You gotta go.
You've always got to find a Waffle House with a W burn out, so it becomes the Awful House, and you definitely want to stop there and eat.
Yes.
Yeah, make sure it's after 2 a.m. as well.
Burn out.
Oh, there's one in Fort Pierce. There's one.
There you
close
go,
to us.
man. Road trip.
Go.
Road trip.
But I think
Smothered,
Tony
covered, and slathered, and fucked up, and all
No, I like
right.
it smothered, covered,
Oh,
chunked,
there's
and
two.
diced. You know.
So, Tony, can you help me put this to bed? Because HBP thinks I sound like a northerner.
You are a northerner.
Tony, do I have a northern accent? Do you?
Doesn't seem like it.
No, it doesn't to me as well. You know what it sounds like is one of those overeducated Southerner accents is what it sounds like to me.
You know who calls people overeducated? The undereducated.
Okay, all right.
You know,
well,
it sounds to me
cheers.
like
Hey, we're here
it sounds
for
to
you.
me like you might be a hell of an engineer. Hell of an
He's a hell of a wreck from Georgia, taken by a hell of an
address
engineer.
We have a
I
shit
want to
ton
address
of
a
debt.
comment. So Nate the Great says, I need to get a girl at Waffle House. Nate, I've been in
Ooh.
37 states traveling the United States, and I've eaten in a lot of Waffle Houses in probably 30 of those states. Where are you going to find that girl that you really want? How desperate are you, Nate the Great, that you want to find your girl at the Waffle House?
Really desperate.
Nate the Great, I think you missed my advice earlier, so I'm going to give this once again. What you need to do is you need to go on Facebook, Facebook Marketplace, and look at women that are selling wedding dresses, so that you know that they're recently single and you can shop by size.
That's right.
That's funny. That's like my friend who used to go to the AA meetings to meet guys, arguing that they were really fun, but now had their lives together. No, for real.
What's up, CB? I had a friend of mine that actually really did this. He started going to Sex Anonymous class meetings to meet chicks. I swear to God, he was that horrible of a person. He actually started doing
my friend. They would hang out together. They would laugh.
You're going to hell. You're going to hell, Tia.
I didn't go, man. I wasn't going. I said I had a friend. I'm asking for a friend, you know.
Yeah. You're going to hell.
Too funny. All right, hey, I gotta run, but this is fun.
Tony.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask Tony this. Tony's got to run, but So Tony Altimore, I do want to say, I really do appreciate you coming on here tonight.
Oh, my pleasure. Good to see you guys. I miss you guys. We gotta do this more often.
I know. I like having a serious stream. You know, I've missed doing these ones that are actually serious. I've missed playing trivia with you. It seems like every time you're playing trivia, I always get in there right as you're leaving. I hope that is not a coincidence.
It is not a coincidence. Usually because I gotta let the dog out.
No,
does he have a YouTube channel that we can subscribe to, or Twitter? We can drop.
No, but he does have a Twitter channel.
Okay.
Wait,
well,
say
I
it
tell
again.
you what, you can kind of subscribe to Tony by going over to USC Football at the voice of college football, because Tony does the USC football show.
Okay, cool.
But Tony is really
TJ. I'll put it in the private chat.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, hey, why don't you post it in the regular chat? You're a mod on here. Why don't you post your Twitter in the regular chat?
I'm actually not logged in.
Okay, well, what is it? At TJ Altimore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, at TJ Altimore on Twitter. Everybody sub up to Tony there, because he does have a really cool
thank you guys.
Twitter channel going. So make sure you do sub up to him here.
Yep.
And Tony, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank
dude.
you, TF.
I really do appreciate it.
Tell Mrs. TF we said hello.
Hey man, we'll
Take
do.
care,
And
Tony.
I can't wait to get down there to Florida and take you out and teach you how to go fishing, man.
I look forward to it. We'll see you soon.
All right, brother.
All right, bye-bye.
Good night, Tony.
I just followed him.
Yeah, he's a
Tim's
cool dude,
been
man.
kind of quiet for a while. Tim, are you still there?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just taking it in. I'm doing a lot of work.
Tim's multitasking. He's over there.
I am.
He's jerking off to some porn lady.
No, I figured Tim probably just opened up that. I figured Tim probably just opened up that package I sent him and went into shock and didn't.
I have to check it out.
Why would he go into shock? What is it?
Now I
You
can't
have
wait
no
to do it.
idea. Traveling Fool
Maybe
sends
does
you
Dallas
something.
doll.
If Traveling Fool sends you something, you have to be concerned. Seriously.
Do I have to get like the dogs out to smell it? Like how caustic is this stuff he's sending people?
No, man, I only send people legit shit, man. Come on now.
Fun shit.
Legit shit. No, I'm saying.
Hey, come on now. I've helped you out too, man, Rec Talk. Come on, I'm a good person.
You're a fantastic person. Why would you? I love you in a really weird way too.
Right. Well,
in not a homosexual way is what he's saying.
Could you, instead of saying no homo, just be like, I love you, homo?
Oh, damn. Ben's about to come back on now. Damn it.
Oh,
God. Daggone it. Yeah. Thought we was rid of him.
Oh, man.
We love Ben.
I know. I'm just kidding. Ben knows. If he's listening, he knows.
Ben's a good kid. I mean, and I say kid because I'm 50-something years old. I mean, Jesus Christ, he ain't nowhere near that. So I
like B Bean. B Bean just put up a poll. Is Traveling Fool's a good person? 1 for yes or 2 for no. I would really like to see this. I would really like to see this.
The real question is B Bean a really good person?
LW vote 2 right off the bat.
He had that like already typed, just waiting on that poll to drop. Joey says 3. I guess that means you're a horrible person.
Oh, man. I'm going with 22. Damn it. I'm doubling down on how horrible I am. So.
Hey, the good news is you're bad. So that's nothing wrong with that.
No, I've got a really bad sense of humor.
B Bean. How good is B Bean?
B Bean's a good guy, right?
I like B Bean.
I've never met him.
No. B Bean's a damn a bleeding heart progressive.
Well, that's
liberal.
fine, man. We don't all have to agree on everything.
I know. I give him hell though. I
don't take Bean as a bleeding heart progressive liberal.
Yeah, he is, but that's okay. He's okay. I don't care.
I do like that. That's like a very Southern thing to be like, man, he's a fucking idiot. I mean, bless his heart. I mean, he's a good dude, but
bless his heart. Yeah.
As long as you say that, whatever you said preceding it is like fine.
Yeah. But bless his
heart. I could make this. Right, I could make this comment right now and be like, oh, Rec Talk can't even change a tire. Bless his heart.
Yeah. And then it's like, then I have to be okay with it because you said bless my heart.
Exactly. That's
what we don't say that. We say Rec Talk can't change a tire, friggin' dumbass.
Well, you would say that, Joe.
I don't care. I love it.
Well, see, West Virginia runs right along the Mason-Dixon line, if I'm not quite sure. So, Joey, I'm not, at least down here below it, we say bless their heart. So,
Do y'all have all four tires on your vehicles in West Virginia?
Well, now that's do blocks count? Blocks don't count, right?
I wouldn't.
Well, no. What's a tire? I mean, is the rim okay? Is the rim okay?
Are we talking about a tire or a tar?
Yeah, tar.
Tar.
I got 4 tires on my car.
You never know what you're gonna get, man.
Or a far. Is your tar on fire?
But you can set the tar on fire. It's all good.
Wow.
No, this has been fun tonight, though. I mean, basically, we have people representing from all over right now, even from the West Coast.
Tim's actually the same one on the West Coast. I mean, not to say Tony's not, but man, Tony's
not. Tim's an Ohio State fan. He's really a closet Ohio State fan.
Yeah.
I'm
actually an Oregon fan. I'm actually
he
Oregon.
acts like he's a USC fan.
Well, why is he the sane one out of the two of them, HBP?
Well, because he has, I don't know,
because he agrees with thinking.
you. But Tim Pringley has critical thinking. Tony Altomore has only number thinking. He's kind of like you, Rick. You know.
No, I gotta push back there on you, Huffer Billy. Like I love Tony's numbers. I love Tony.
Yeah,
I'm a
Tony's
numbers guy as well. I'm a numbers guy as well, and I like hearing it from that aspect. And I really like that. I like what Tony brings to the table. A lot of people don't appreciate that, and you know what? That's on you, not on me. Because I mean, if you're not intelligent to figure out what Tony's talking about. Yeah, if you don't meet that bar, that's on you, not me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the problem that I have is that Tony hides behind numbers instead of the facts, and that's the problem. I mean,
numbers are facts. You don't like numbers because they don't allow you to shoehorn in whatever nonsense that you want to.
No, the numbers can be fabricated to make things. Statistics can be done anyway.
Statistics, yes, can be fabricated, but most of the time, what he's trying to do is throw in there like creating a thing from putting all these different things into one and giving you a. And you know what? I've known Tony for a long time, and I can say that Tony and I don't agree on everything, but yet we are really great friends. He looks at things like when he's putting these things together, he's not being biased as far as politics or the way you feel or anything. Academics does matter. Jesus fucking Christ! Of course it matters.
Then why are they putting them in the AAU or whatever? Why does that even matter to these people if it's not important to them?
Academics matters terribly.
Do you know how getting the AAU is?
Hey, Nate, you got to cam up before you come on here, man.
Do you realize how much the AAU is?
All right, Nate, stick your finger up your nose.
So getting in the AAU takes a lot of people.
You can take it out now, and then I'll put you live. All right.
But these people in AAU, I mean, I get it. Everyone, AAU. They choose where they're going to let people be in the AAU or not. It's political. It's very political.
Well, it certainly is. I mean, Fools was right.
Well, everybody say hey to Derek. I'm sorry, Derek. This has been a long conversation.
Hey,
Derek, man,
Derek.
come on. You know we love you, dude.
You're in this chat, man. Your name.
Yeah. We love you, Derek, and I got something really cool that I'm sending you, Derek. I've been putting this together, so just get ready, my friend.
Yeah.
Don't.
Well,
Yeah.
I put Tony Altomore.
What's that?
No, I'm not saying Tony's wrong. I mean, look, he's doing what Tony does. I mean, I'm not dissing on him personally.
Well, no, it's not working.
Sorry.
No, Tony's looking at it from a business aspect and from an actual numbers aspect as to who's going, not a fan base aspect. And there's a big difference. It's like Lou was going on there earlier saying that none of the fans give a damn about that, but the actual universities and things like that actually do care about that when thinking about these things.
Well, yes and no.
And it's factual. I mean, yes, they do. You can't take that away.
Whoa. Now you're talking about the universities. I'm saying that the reason why the universities are doing things is not because of their university. They're doing things because of media. Okay? The media don't give a effing hell about academics. Okay? And so they're going to do these deals where they're going to pay them $80 million a school or whatever. And I know they get a lot in research grants and stuff. So you just divide that. You say academics goes over here. We have these alliances there. We
There's that numbers talk.
Athletic alliances over here. You don't have to have them both together. That's my point. And that's the point. And so the argument has been, well, they all go together. No. You can have an academic alliance differently from an athletic alliance. Hell, Notre Dame came in the ACC, didn't even want to join as a full-time member in football, but they did it in all their other sports.
Yeah, but how can you separate?
Bullshit.
They're a school, so how can you separate the academics entirely? Like you're having this quantized
It's not
look
entirely. I'm just saying, athletic agreement to play each other in athletic sports is completely different than an academic alliance. That's all. You know that. And that's the way it has to be. But they haven't done it until now. So
no way, Dad. This is a Hoverbilly. I love you, but this is an ignorant argument. If you're talking about going to college conferences and what a conference requires for you to actually join the conference, and there is academic, we have to go back to the fact that I hate it just as much as anybody because I'm a college football fan. But yet, the first word that I said was college. And
but
we have to go and know that academics is the first thing in college. So,
well, it should
be,
but it's
I put
not
a chart
anymore.
up, one of Tony's charts up. I put one of Tony's charts down there at the bottom. If you could just throw it up there so Billy could look at that.
I didn't know it keeps changing, Joey.
But the point is, here's the thing, Travis. It's
just that WVU is greater than Clemson, and that's one of Tony's charts, and that's an official Tony chart. So
that's just science.
In case you didn't,
whatever.
That's science, right?
But here's the thing, and that's fine.
It might give me epilepsy as well, but you know.
But here's I mean, seriously, it truly is something that people don't realize. When Clemson or any other school is good in academics, they should be rewarded in being an academic alliance, right? Wherever it is. And I say this FSU and Miami and Notre Dame and USC. When they're really good in the athletic side, and this is what we're talking about here is football, they will get in the conferences they need to be in for that, and just separate the two. You don't need.
Well, Troy Hoverbilly, Troy V makes a really good point. He says, "I'm not watching college football because of kids' GPA." And, that's the fan, that's the fan, saying. And I agree with that. But when it comes to listen. When the point being is when college, like conferences, are looking to bring in new schools and stuff like that, they want them to fit into their conference academically. You know, that's just going to happen.
Well, that's how it's set up right now.
Today, I'm saying in the future, it doesn't have to be that way.
Okay, well, that makes more sense. If you're saying just disregard academics as it
I mean, for athletic
that's an argument.
Play, you do athletics.
It is an argument, but it's not a good one. Let's not take. Hey, wait. Let's stop and be smart people and intelligent people for one just fucking second. Please, for the love of God, don't let NIL take academics out of college. Please.
It's not.
There's one purpose for going to college, and it's supposed to be learning something.
Well, it kind of is, though. I mean, it is.
NIL.
Well, it is, but that's what I don't like about it. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, none of us like that about it.
You don't have any choice.
Yeah, now the cat's out of the bag. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's a whole other thing of how you solve the.
I think graduating people who can't like read or write because they're good at football is a bad idea.
I agree.
You're barking up the wrong tree. I'm with you. I'm totally with you. But the point is, if you need,
just set that aside, disregard it.
Right. Just disregard everything you just said, but you know.
No, but it's not going to. You know how the reality is now. My point is, you got to deal with the reality. You can't deal in the.
Well, wait, why do we have to deal with the reality of where people who leave college not being?
Well, this is where I was going. This is where I was going earlier with Lou. I don't think Clemson wants to go down this road. I honestly don't. I think they may eject completely and tell them to go fuck themselves and let football go to hell. I really do. Clemson's in that boat right now.
Why would they do that? That makes less than zero sense.
They don't want to be in the I got to run around and act like a crazy person and have all these kids get paid all this money to play. You know, basically you're supposed to be playing for fun.
Oh, you've been listening to Dabo a lot, yeah.
No, but I don't think Clemson's on the board with the whole big athletic problem. I really don't.
What do you mean by big athletic problem?
Well,
because
all
your
the
team
money
would not be
chasing.
doing that,
They're
and
not going to
everybody
go
else's
chase
would.
the money. They're not going to chase it. They really aren't, and that's kind of where the rubber's meeting the road, and everybody's
But they
having the
are.
board of trustees, and everybody else is talking about it. And I'm like, well, our mission is to teach kids not to run around and create professional athletes.
You were just saying that. Okay. God damn it, that.
Moving on.
Well,
Yeah,
then
let's
listen,
move on to
as
the next
But
one.
my point was
As
is that I
fans,
think they should have
Billy.
brought them together. I mean, when I say that, they should have said, these two things should be separated.
Well,
Athletics
then
and
kids
academics.
shouldn't take classes.
But you can't separate athletics and college from college. You can't separate athletics and classes.
But you can separate your academic alliances.
It's like, hey, we're going to throw vault. Wait a minute.
From your athletic
wait a minute.
play.
Hufferbilly.
Start a football university. That's all
Right.
that.
We're not going to throw
How
Voltaire.
much-
We're not going to
football
throw
there.
Voltaire out the windows so that this guy can goddamn catch a 40-yard pass. I mean, isn't there like a fine line between there that we should?
Can I ask a question? In all honesty, how much do y'all think the Board of Regents give a crap about a football game when it comes to all this? And they're the ones who decide this stuff. And most of them could care less about the football program or the baseball program. Yes, they want it to be successful, obviously. But that's not making their decisions to change conferences and things.
Hey, wait, Hufferbilly, everybody, let's silence for a second. Tim Prangley, you got the horn.
Oh well, I'm just saying good night, everyone. Mr. Duggar, love you, love all you guys.
But no, do you got something to say about this, or did you open up the package? No, everybody such for a second except for Tim. Did you open up the package I sent you, or
no? I have not. That's what you want me to do. Open the package up. I
want you to open it like live, man. Like
Oh, like a unboxing kind of thing.
Right, exactly, man. I'm just waiting.
Make me go all the way down there. I feel like I'm being put on the spot here.
You are.
We're gonna
turn your camera on and show us your new toy.
And I know you're about to have to go to bed, so I would like you to be able to get your last words in. You came on here as one of the original guests and helped me do the show, so I'm going to give props up to you, man.
I don't want to grind this into a halt. I'll tell you what. This is what I'll do. I won't open up the package so I can do it live on the next trivia night. How about that?
Well, that's fine. Okay, whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
but
I just kind of good. That's what I just texted you. Say I got to go. Then you put me on the spot. Like I go do an
I know, but do you have a last word to say on this conversation or something? I just want you to be able to get your word in. You came on here as an original guest, so I just wanted you to, not be like over talked out of your original spot. That's
no. I listen. The reason why I come to your channel is to listen to people. I can hear myself talk all day long. No, I mean I've been kicking back and enjoying the conversation. I'm sure I'll see all of you guys very soon. Those I don't, I will catch you guys all later.
Not if I see you first.
See you guys.
Yeah. All right, love you, Tim. Thanks so much, man, for coming on.
Yeah, anytime. I'll see you guys.
All right, buddy. See you. All right, sorry. I just had to.
That's good. You're heartbroken now. I mean, you had been begging him to open that the whole show.
I know you won't even open the
didn't
package
happen.
I sent him, man. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I'd have opened it. Send me one. I'll open it.
Yeah, well, you better win trivia or something, then. Quit being an idiot.
I have. I won the first one.
Jim's got to be like dramatic. We're going to be melodramatic here, and we're going to hold it off until what? Sunday?
Melodramatic.
Yeah.
Got him.
I have got.
I might be your South Florida redneck, but I ain't fucking. Come on.
Well, I'm just a hillbilly. So screw all of you.
Well, what's the difference in a redneck and a hillbilly?
So,
redneck smart.
So yeah, there's no difference.
They're like synonyms. Okay.
No, there's a very big difference.
No, but the point being, and then back to the point.
Yeah. Well, you made a point and then argued against the point you made.
No. Why the hell do you think you have to have athletic playing conferences that are the same as an academic alliance?
Oh, Jesus Christ! Can we not get past the fact that this is college?
Well,
Like, where do we draw the line of saying that these are college students? Like full stop. This is. I was a college athlete. Okay, I went to college under a scholarship, and got to do it. I was playing, and thank God I got to go to college for free, and I was going to college. That's the reason I'm fucking going there. Like, where do you draw the line of saying like you're athletes or you're college students? No, you're supposed to be college athletes. And that means you are supposed to be going to fucking college. You want to make it a minor league sports team? Well, then let's do something totally different.
I'm just saying you may play people in your region closer to where you live or where you go to school instead of going all over the fucking place like West Virginia has to. And so you have conferences that are athletic that you do that with. And then you may have alliances with people in California from the East Coast academically. You know,
well, Hufferbilly Paul, the stagecoach. Listen, the stagecoach wasn't like a new thing when we were young. Okay, yeah, you know, you may be looking at this differently than us, but there are actually like airplanes and things like that happen now that make travel a lot easier. So,
you know how hard it is to get to Hawaii?
Go on, saddle Bessie. I'll get on there.
Well, now I know where Hubbilly's coming from. It is tough to get into Lubbock, Texas, and it's hard for Lubbock, Texas, to come to Morgantown. Yeah. It's hard for anybody to come to Morgantown.
Yeah,
it's not like you land at the airport and you bus over for a few minutes. No, you land at Pittsburgh, you bus over the mountains and through the woods and cross the river to Grandma's house to get to Morgantown.
Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go.
But what's so frustrating is everybody wants to associate academics, the academic alliances, the same as the athletic conferences, and they should be completely separated. Not to say that athletics needs to be without academics, no, and you're misconfusing that. It's misunderstanding.
Misconfusing. I like this.
That's a $30 word. Ding.
I thought I was more smarter than misconfusing.
Yeah, misconfusing it.
Yeah,
but Carolyn,
misconfusing is that a term for a cross-dressing IRS ticket?
Exactly, Duggar. Exactly. But you can't. You know what I mean? My point is, they shouldn't be not without academics. I'm just saying that you have different groupings of athletic alliances than you will with academic, because academic can be virtual, athletic cannot. It has to be physical. You have to move people.
People are figuring it out.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
You know, people.
Hi, everybody.
Back to what you was talking about.
Man.
What's up, Mr. Duggar? How you doing, my brother?
Duggar.
I'm doing so
Duggar.
wonderful. Y'all go on and say I'm just too blessed to be stressed. What the hell is happening in the group tonight? Man. I come in here and there's a hot discussion about academics and college football. That football players can't be with academic schools. I don't know what the hell y'all are talking about. There's somebody drinking in this fucking panel.
Yes, sir.
Not a chance, man. There's never anybody drinking in this channel. We keep this channel completely alcohol free.
That's right. I'm glad that ain't happening because I'd have to shut all that shit down. You know.
I know. My lawyer advised me.
My fiduciary duty to inform everybody there'll be no drinking on the panel unless I got one.
We love this.
So, is non-alcoholic beer okay because it doesn't have alcohol?
Oh,
that is great for the Nate.
It does have some alcohol in it.
Hufferbilly, I'm going to just get back to your point.
Okay, everybody talk one at a time. I can't stand when everybody talks at the same time.
I'm sorry.
Can I ask somebody something? How do I sound tonight? Do I sound wonderful?
Sounds amazing.
You always sound wonderful.
I mean, you're still crackling. You're still crackling a bit, but I can hear you.
You know that crackling I think you're hearing is my pump on my aquarium.
No, it's your internet.
Damn it, Jim.
I mean, I love you, Mr. Doug.
I got hillbilly internet, I confess.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Fishing. Yeah, you sound
I can't
like
even call it redneck.
you sound like chocolate velvet, brother.
Fishing.
Cool, man.
Who's fishing?
Fishing football, man.
Fishing.
Is he in here?
Well, fishing's always in
Is
here.
it Mr. Duggar fishing? You sound like
Mr. Duggar fishing football's been in here too. So,
dude,
but I do want to say honestly, we do have President Joe Biden in here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Saying yo traveling fools, and I always do have the best respect for my president, no matter who it is. So, sir, I do hope you are quite well after your fall today. That was I do hope that nothing bad happened to you. And I do have a video of that fall. I don't know if anybody.
Rude.
Oh, good.
Damn.
I got him again. Oh, yeah.
So I'm very sorry that
got him.
That happened to you tonight, President Joe Biden.
But did you see the outline of the pins? Did you see the outline of the pins and the pins?
It is funny to watch. I don't care what side of the
Oh my
country.
God, that's hilarious.
I mean, it's so wrong, but it's funny. Come on, we can all laugh about something every now and then.
Oh, yeah,
that's oh my God, dude. Poor fella. I did draw. I didn't mean to drop that sandbag there, you know. So.
B Bean's yelling at me saying that was not. I mean, this is all capital. Sorry, B Bean. Sometimes my sense of humor takes over above my patriotism.
B Bean, you got to quit being so liberal, bro.
Well, maybe he thinks you got to stop. Being
CJ's
so
yelling at me too, tell me to respect my elders and all this shit. Jesus Christ.
Joe
That's
Biden
right. You should show it one more time. Never stop it on odd numbers. You know.
Yeah, I think that is a bad idea. CJ. The funny thing is that the cheering goes louder after he falls.
Yeah. Did you see that one guy? He was just laughing.
Oh, I know, the people in the background, the band in the background, people are like covering their mouths, trying not to laugh. It's like Jesus Christ.
Just like he's
don't make fun of B Bean. I love B Bean.
He's triggered though. He's triggered.
Yeah, man. Not everybody can get along. Back to college football talk. Somebody else, Joe Biden stopped in. I just tried to make sure he was okay, so I just wanted to show the video.
Make me the bad guy.
Of him falling.
I get in here and tell you all kinds of shit.
Oh, he got right back up though. He got right back up.
Oh yeah, he got right back up with the help of 4 people. That was really cool. LW says it was better than. LW says it was better when he fell up the stairs.
We can't even go back to football. We can't even go back to football after that unpatriotic move by UTF.
I'm disgusted and offended.
Good.
I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry to everybody.
I love
Well, that one he took in stride, though.
Oh man, God, it's so good.
Yeah,
Where's that?
He recovered.
Hey, they need to get him to do them commercials. Help me! I've fallen and I can't get up. He can sell the hell of it.
If B Bean says this is becoming a mean channel, damn it, B Bean. I didn't mean to be a mean channel. You know I love everybody, B Bean. I just like to. I have a problem, B Bean. I just like to laugh a lot. So if shit's funny to me, then I'm gonna put it up as funny. You know what? If Donald Trump fell down and thing, I would put it up just the same. I mean, that's just who I am. So what's funny is funny.
ETF.
That would have been hilarious.
He should have played the sting. I don't know if he still had the stinger, but he still had the stinger of AI, Joe Biden, and Donald Trump. What do you call it?
No, I think I deleted most of those old ones.
Actually, B-Bean, he doesn't really have Traveling Fools' address. Traveling Fools' address is top secret. It's almost like out there in the alien area out there.
No, I think he lives at Camp
Mexico.
David now.
Hey, watch it.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Duggar, my lawyer, I have to step away and use the restroom, but would you please advise everybody why they should not mess with me as my lawyer? Thank you very much.
This channel does not support or endorse anybody's statement on chat or on the panel. It is all inconsistent. It is all inconsistent with YouTube's channel ratings. We don't care. It's merely for entertainment properties only. Thank you. Kiss our ass.
All right.
How you fellas doing, man? I've been catching the hell out of some catfish.
Really?
Oh man, yeah, I've been tearing them up. Nice eater. We brought home 14 keeper channel cats. We probably turned loose another 30 that were in the 5 to 8 pound. We just keeping 3 pound to about 1.5 pounds.
So
the next day we went out and got 22 of them. Plus we picked up a couple of walleyes each day, and one day we caught a really nice brown trout to go with it. So yeah, we
damn. Do you keep them? Do you keep them? Do you freeze them and keep them? Is that what you do?
Just a couple of little packages. Not gonna let them. I usually just get them to eat what I can that day.
Yeah.
But I have other people that want some fish, and so I put a couple packages away.
Okay. No, but I that's kind of what I was asking. More, I was curious how you guys deal with that because
I usually just, if I'm keeping fish for just me, I'll just keep enough for me and turn the rest of them loose. They ain't no use killing all.
Yeah, I'm
the
the same way.
I'm too good of a fisherman to keep all the fish I catch.
Yeah, well,
Mr. Duggar he'd clean the damn ocean out in like a week.
Yeah. I'm like a sane net.
Look, man. I went out here.
Thank you, Nate. I love you, Nate.
Oh, you're welcome, Mike.
God bless America.
Hey, Nate, I just wish you looked more like your avatar picture.
I wish he was his avatar picture and he had like.
Well, I wish I was not transgender.
But no, let's not go there. Let's not talk about any of that nonsense.
That's not allowed on this channel.
Yeah, thank you, Mr.
Oh, yeah, that. But yeah, she's really cute.
Yeah, she's a good-looking girl. I mean,
I think it's beyond cute. I think that's all day.
She does have huge tracts of land, and that is a plus. Right. So okay.
Oh, mate.
Crimson Braves hoping that a shoe flies at my head. So.
Hey,
are you there, Vic?
So Mr. Duggar.
Okay,
buddy.
One at a time.
Yes, I went and took my son down to the neighborhood pond right down here, and he caught a big ass bass in this pond. Right, this is a pond. It ain't a lake.
Yeah,
it's a pond. He caught this bass. He goes, "Can we keep it?" And I looked at him and I said, "Are you gonna clean it?" And he said, "What does that mean?" I said, "Yeah, you ain't gonna clean it. I'm not gonna clean it. No, we ain't keeping this bass." I said, "No, we release that bad boy."
I know. I was really.
I don't know how to clean either, but I know what cleaning means.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you not know how to clean a fish, man? I mean,
I didn't get taught.
Yeah, cleaning fish is a rite of passage. And
I don't know how to clean a fish.
He needs to clean it.
You don't know how to change a tire.
Yeah.
I just buy them at the store, and then I go buy another one.
I love you, Reg Talk. I'm always going to give you hell, man. Come on now.
I know how to drive a go-kart.
Reg, come on to New Mexico. I'll teach you how to fish, buddy.
I would love to go to New Mexico.
Bring your little old bony ass up here. We got a few still.
Hey, I've been accused of being a lot of things, but bony is not one of them. I can assure you.
Compared to me, you're anorexic.
Oh yeah,
I might outweigh you.
Huh?
I might outweigh you.
I'm putting my money on. I'm putting my money on Duggar.
How much you weigh?
You gonna be outweigh Duggar?
I'm 267 right now.
I take craps bigger than that.
That's fucked up. You've taken. How long did that take? 267-pound shit.
Damn. Parts.
Oh yeah, it was like a saga.
It took about as long as time as the Georgia Tech season. So
that feels like a long time with a lot of
I'm going to crash out of here. I'm going to crash out of here, guys.
Hey, Joey,
later, Joey, man.
Hey, before I go, I'm going to say something though. This picture I've got on here, that's my daughter, and this month she'll be 30 years old. This month,
and as you
look at Joey with his. Look at this.
Is that mullet? No, that's hockey hair.
No, that's a early '80s haircut right there. Is what that is.
That mustache, though.
I know, man. Look at this.
Yeah.
What a beautiful daughter, though. And Joey, you still are.
You ain't no ugly man.
I know. I like it.
Yeah, but happy birthday to her this month. She'll be 30 years old. She's my youngest, so really happy for her. She's got a great career and works hard and takes care of her family and stuff. And so does her husband. She's got a great husband too. But anyway, I mean, Anyway,
happy birthday from the crew.
Good night, guys. I love y'all.
Later, Joey.
Good night, Joey.
I love you too, Joey. That was awesome, man.
I love you. Okay.
All right. Well,
we can talk about him at last. That thing about
fucking Joey, right?
Yeah, I love Joey, man. He's a good guy.
Joey's good people, man. He's just straight up good peeps. They gonna turn him loose in Thailand.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I almost want to give him a GoPro just to strap to his back.
Hell yeah, man! Just like you put it on your dog. Here, Joey K. This one.
you put it on a bass. You put it on a bass, and you shoot it down the damn water and see what happens.
Joey turned loose in Thailand.
Dang.
Joey against bases Thailand. I think that's gonna be hilarious.
Well, listen, guys, I'm about to wrap this shit show up. We had a bunch of good conversation. I don't want to go down like a, you know what I mean. Let's keep it where it went. I think it was a good show.
Came in here and Rick Talk did too.
Rick Talk's been in here for a while. You've been in here for a while. Nate DeGrade's been in here for a while. Everybody's been in here for a while, and it's getting late. So let's sum it up with some final words from some people. Hover Billy Paul. Okay, let's go, Nate. Okay, let's ask Nate's opinion first. Nate, what do you think about this whole thing that we've been talking about all night long? What do you think about that, Nate?
I think it's a really good conversation. Interesting too, and I think Tranquil's, you're right all along. Not saying have been dumb, but I agree. I agree with TF that he said it's about going to college and basically what TF said. I agree 100%. So and also the GPA does matter too. So.
And that's why we look so good together, even though the white shack makes my 6'1" ass look like a teeny little man. So that is why the white shack always speaks words of wisdom.
Did you play a Jeff Weber commercial?
I actually like my profile picture now.
Yeah, you look kind of. Is that Uncle Lou?
You look angry.
I screenshot this when I watched the Vanderbilt when the Georgia lost to Vanderbilt at homecoming. That's when it was was mad. So y'all have a good night and see you actually tomorrow night because are you doing a show tomorrow night too?
Not me, but I do know Pigskin Pete will be live tomorrow night at 10:00, and I think TK will be live, and she's in the chat. Tiger Cat will be live on her channel. I think tomorrow night at 8:00 tomorrow night. I think
it's Saturday.
Oh, yeah,
well, no. The next night, Saturday night, TK will be live at 10:00. But Pigskin Pete will be live tomorrow night at 10, and Tiger Cat will be live at what is it? 8 or 10? What is it?
Yeah, 8 for you guys.
It's 8.
Oh, she says not Saturday. But we will be live right here, again, 10:30 Sunday night to do the Ultimate Trivia Challenge again. And we've had some really big competitors, and it's a really fun game every Sunday night. So make sure everybody does tune in there.
Yeah. I want to be in the trivia. Y'all didn't put me in the freaking trivia like this past 2 quizzes. I tried to.
Damn fools!
Well, it's in the chat, Nate. You just have to answer before everybody else. It's the only fair way I can do it. So sorry, man, but I do love you, Nate. I do love you. You know that.
I love you too, bro. But have a good night. I definitely didn't eat the ketos.
I think you're lying.
Okay. I think he ate them.
He definitely ate taquitos.
If they were there, he ate them. I know it.
All right. So, who wants to go next?
I'll go next. Hey, listen, and you're talking about the Miami and Notre Dame thing, right? That's what brought all this on for the most part.
Well, that was the point of this show. Yes.
Yeah. So I do think it's real. I do think they're going to go to the Big Ten, and so the whole drama or uncertainty, as people say, with the grant of rights. I don't think that's going to hold. I don't think it's going to hold much. I guarantee you. And so I'll go ahead and get Lou to tell me that he's he thinks I'm wrong and that we're going to be stuck for 2036 and all that nonsense. But that's not going to happen. And so it'll get broken, and it'll be broken less than 24 months. It'll be broken in 18. So I did want to say that just to get it off my chest, and I feel better now.
See, I agree with you, Hufferbilly. That I mean, I honestly think that it's not going to make it to 2035.
No, it's not. And there's just no, because the finance. I mean, the teams. Look, the schools that really have a vested interest, and Miami's one of them. Clemson's one of them. Florida State's one of them. Hell, there's about 6 others. Maybe not 8, but I think there's probably 8. They can't sit in that situation. Not with the income disparity. It's going to happen. So anyway, I just wanted to say that. I'll let you go. Thank you for having me on. It was a great night. I loved it. Love arguing. Always have. Don't care.
No, man, I love it.
It's good. Bye, guys.
All right, Hufferbilly. I love you. All right, Mr. Duggar, what do you think?
I think I will sleep in late tomorrow, and or maybe even get up around 10 o'clock and go fishing. Who knows? I don't really care about what they do on college football, as long as they field our teams out there so we can root for them and have a good time. I really always have felt that the college kids that play football from them colleges that get paid an exorbitant amount of money for their football program should share. I don't think that one player should make more than the other. I don't care if they're stars.
So you're a socialist?
No, I'm just talking about for the
got him.
Lick my. Of course, you know this means war. You call me that, you bastard. You can call me a lot of things. You call me a socialist.
I had
I'm
to
going
take
there
the
and whip
shot,
your
man.
ass.
I had to take the shot. Shots fired. Shots fired.
But
no, I think people should be able to make more money than other people and stuff like that. I think it should be all about what your name can earn.
College, you're going to just give them all a little extra money. You know, it's not
that's
like
socialism, man. I mean, come on now, we can't go down that road.
I think each one should get a fair amount of money if they're
What's
part of the football team.
Come on now, Mr. Duggar.
Why are you going to give it all to just one guy just because he can run the ball? You got 10 other guys pushed in the hole for him to run it through.
Well, why are we going to give the money to the McDonald's worker that can, and the doctor differently? I mean, come on now.
Well, maybe there is something to this socialism shit then.
Tell me more about pushing the hole.
Push it good.
Push it real good.
There's Ben. Hey, Ben. But no, I don't know, man. I don't really care about it at all. I have no opinion on that. I just listen to everybody else and let them argue it out. As long as I can turn my TV on and watch a couple of teams play, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like the massacre that's going to happen at our second game. We're going to whoop some of that Hurricane ass again.
Woo! Dream on, Zach. Dream on.
And Zach graduated. He was swept off his feet by the man of his dreams, but whatever, it is what it is. I know you got the man crush on Zach, but I mean, that's finally steeped in big time football stuff. So I'm just here, man, for the beer. So I'm just glad to see y'all all out and hanging out with each other and being sociable. But I'll let y'all go.
Nah, Mr. Duggar, I love you, brother.
Get my little ass out of here.
Nah, I love you, brother. Thanks so much, Mr. Duggar, for coming in. Everybody do make sure you go check out Mr. Duggar Fishing on there and sub up to him as well.
Talk. Check. Yep.
All right, let me ask this. Exploring with Ben, what do you have to say about this? I'm starting.
I have no idea. I have talking about because you're just fucking texting me. So I'm like,
dude, you're fucking with me. Why can't you just say yes? That is actually me. I don't want this.
Who the hell is going to impersonate me and my sad ass?
Well, you'd be surprised, man. You would be absolutely surprised.
It's true. Finally, I found that creeper I've been looking for.
Well, I know.
Wait, why have I been looking for?
You're the only person who actually looks for their creepers.
I know that way. Yeah, I have to backtrack that statement. I had to show Sam before he fucking passed out. I had to show him that Biden meme one because that I made a fucking new intro for the other channel with him falling down, but the golf one, I'm like, God damn it! Now I need to edit it again. Damn it!
Read LW's thing he just put up, man.
Well, he also called us a bunch of old perverts, which I was going to say, what's wrong with that? But
he says Ben just signed an NAL deal with Aggie Zach's underpants. So are you shots fired by LW?
LW can go straight fuck himself. I'll text him all night long. I'll text him at like 4 a.m. I don't care.
I know, TK. I'm excited about this season too. So Ben, we're gonna wrap this up right about now, and you just pop back in here at the end. I hope your dinner was well, and more important than this stream that we had. So, how are you gonna wrap this up, Ben? What do you think about this whole thing? Like give an intelligent thing if you can.
About what thing? What are we talking about?
Oh, Jesus Christ! Come on now.
About Joe Biden? I can talk about President Biden.
No, this is not political, okay. Man. This is not political. About the college football thing. Not about Joe Biden getting knocked out.
What are we at now? Like 94 days away? 93, 92?
Yeah, something like that. I mean... not a political channel. So
it just does not get old. I don't care. It just doesn't goddamn get old. I just start laughing every fucking time.
I mean, it's just funny. But anyways, so where do you think we're going with this?
I don't know where the fuck we're going with it. I know about the whole, we were talking about the AAU thing, and it's more surprising that some of these teams like Miami and like, what was it? Or I'm sorry, was it Miami and USF, right? That was primarily the two earlier.
No, it's Notre Dame and Miami were primarily the two. There were a bunch of others that got given.
I'm surprised really it took that long, because you would think that they're big universities, they're known universities. So I'm kind of surprised. I guess they put the effort out and finally were accepted for it, and that's great for them. As the college football landscape, I don't know. Let's just see what the hell happens. I'm not. Right. I see reports every other day about this and this, and this team's going here now, and this team's talking here, and I'm like, let's just see what happens.
Golden Blue dude, I really RIP Golden Blue dude. He was a good friend of mine, but he would have loved what's going on right now. I really wish he was still around for all this.
Oh yeah, he would have been making like 4 videos a day about it with different hypotheses and stuff. But yeah, I just. Wait and see. I'm not going to panic about anything at this moment. I mean, But I will say, hashtag back the pack. And if you don't like it, I could give 2 shits.
Ben is a fake duck, so,
Got him.
All right, Ben. Well, listen, dude, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to give Rec Talk his last words because he's been here for a while. I love you, my brother. Ben, tomorrow night, I will see you there.
Yeah, I'll set it up. I sent you it. I'll email Joey.
I got you.
Too. I forgot to email Joey it, actually, too. Or I'm sorry, Frank, I think.
Yeah, Frank. And
Frank.
Yeah, we're going to blow this up tomorrow night. So I'll see you there, my friend.
All right.
All right, buddy. Rec Talk?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let the people see. Because
now you done went naked pug on me again. God damn it. You're a Bulldog. You're a Georgia Tech fan. Why are you going to dress like a naked pug? I mean, Jesus Christ. What are we doing here?
You need to see what you drafted this year. This is all man, all testosterone. My blood runs red. Okay? And first of all, Team Raj is going down. I don't even know why that's even in question at all. The other thing is, for my Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, as it pertains to all this conference realignment.
Hey, I think you might need to get that that mole on your left shoulder checked out, man.
Right here?
Just saying. Yeah.
Do you really think there's something wrong with it?
I mean, if it was me, I probably would, but.
Fuck it. It'll be all right. So, yeah. I do what as far as the people entering the.
Hey, look, you got Charlie Zelen.
Is that fake boxer that says
Charlie's awesome, man. He's the undefeated champion, man. He holds all kinds of belts, man. I mean, you got Charlie Zelenoff saying how powerful you are. What's up, Charlie, man? Good to see you here, brother.
And he's 250-0, like Miami.
He cracks me up, man. He's like my Miami team, man. Dude's a god, an internet god. What's up, Charlie? Thanks for having you here, man.
That's awesome. Official. But I think what this shows is that these aren't just fake threats or hollow threats. This is like saying, hey, this country's going to invade us, as opposed to they got tanks rolled up your borders. It's not great. It shows they have intention. And if Tech doesn't get their head out of their ass, I'm going to go up to Bobby Dodd and stomp a mud hole in Jay Bat's ass and stomp it dry. And that's
it won't be hard to find a mud hole at Bobby Dodd Stadium, because that place, they're everywhere, man. I mean, that place is falling down right and left.
If I got 3 wishes from a genie.
Okay, I want to hear this right now from the shirtless Georgia Tech fan. I want to hear the 3 wishes that you could get from a genie.
I would take you out with the first wish. I would revive you with the second one.
Wait, where are we going? Wait. Now, so now you're asking me out on the date. So where are we going? I mean, this is going to be like your Golden Corral date, or are you courting me at like Olive Garden or something?
I'm glad you brought that up. Golden Corral Bourbon Street Chicken is fantastic. I think that's where we would go to get some Bourbon Street Chicken.
So you're gonna take me to Golden Corral for? Now are you like a fancy spender? Am I getting like the extra chocolate waterfall at the end?
The fondue fountain. Do you have to pay extra for that?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, like.
Well, if it is extra, I mean, I'll pay for it. I'm not, an animal or anything.
Okay, so I'm getting a reach around. So that's what you're saying. I mean, he's a big tipper. This is getting thrown into it. So.
A lot of big things coming around when Rec Talk comes to town. Big tips, big shoes, big socks, a lot of things.
Right. Okay.
I guess for my second wish, I'd have to wipe the debt away that we have in our athletic program. And so conference realignment is equivalent to World War III, Rec Talk. I never said that. I guess with my third wish, I would I don't know. I'll have to come back on the show. Appreciate you giving me the last word.
I mean, you've gotten so flustered at this point, you can't remember your last wish. If you had 3 wishes, one was to take me to the Golden Waterfall and give me a reach around, and the second was to wash away some kind of dead people or something like that. And the third one, you can't even think to do it. And you want to run against me in an actual presidential YouTube competition.
Oh, I don't want to. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Okay. I can see how this is going to go like right proper. I just got a whole lot of sound bites right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you're the master of misinformation and taking things out of context. First of all, you don't want to tie up with your boy Rec Talk, okay? Because you're going to lose and you're going to look silly. Now, I know that looks dumb right now with me having my shirt off. I understand that, okay?
Let me just go ahead and turn my camera back on here. I mean, this is getting pretty rough right about now for your man Rag Talk.
This is what confident men do. Fuck clothes. All right, you just go out, show people what you're working with. You say, "Hey, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?" Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Yeah, so you heard it right here, right now. Rec Talk is coming in there like he's coming in swinging. He's coming in there like a badass, shirt off, everything's ready to go. But he ain't spitting no facts, so we're gonna have to go over that. This is gonna be fun. Even Ben and Sam says, "I'll take my clothes off for TF." Thank you, Ben and Sam. I do appreciate that, my guys. I can't help it. I'm a pretty man. I mean, I make Muhammad Ali look like ugly. I make him look like, I know I'm a pretty motherfucker. I just can't help it. I was born this way, and I can't help it. So, listen, everybody, that was a great stream tonight. I do appreciate everybody that came in here and checked it out. We started out like really factual and like really hitting some numbers on college football, and we have gone to total insanity off the walls. I love Crimson Brave. Yeah, maybe I did, Crimson Brave. Maybe I did. I might have just woke up in a dumpster, but I am still a beautiful, beautiful man. And I love you, Rag Talk, man. This is going to be fun, dude. We're going to have a really good time doing this. I really do appreciate it. Everybody who's stuck in here through the end, all the way through Exploring with Business Sam. LW, I love you, brother. Thank you so much. Who else? It's Tiger Cat. Thanks a lot for sticking in. Crimson Brave. I'm a big fan of my new friend Charlie Zelenoff, man. I love your videos, dude. It's they're absolutely hilarious. I'm really rooting for you to win your next title bout. I am definitely putting my money on you, my friend. Most definitely Joey Foster. I hope you're talking about Ben. And with that said, I do love all you guys. And I wish you all a really good night. Thanks so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Sunday night, make sure everybody tunes back in Sunday night for trivia night, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do some more cool giveaways, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So what do you say? I'll put in some. I got a really cool new song here, lad. Let's see. This one's kind of cool. Let's bust it out. This one's pretty cool. Let's go out on this number right here. This one's pretty. I like the romance going on right there, right about now. So thanks a lot, everybody. I-35 with the top down, quick to tell a hater they should get like me. Seem like everybody wanna be the boss, but it costs and these lanes ain't shit like me. Drop a couple bands on the crypto fans, know my shit go. I ain't gotta tell him what it is. Tell him I'm a grown ass man, so you'll never fool me with the cap you be selling to the kids. Shorty, we the lords of the land, we wavy. Bad little mama tryna have a nigga baby. In a coupe seat color like gravy. Children of the sun, I got some pretty cool dance. Boss talk with the wolf pack. I ain't never look back. Got a couple bands and I flip that. I be chilling with my shorty. Got the crib on karate. Keep up, little baby. That's a kickback. Can't flex on a nigga. Yeah, I mean I'm pretty jive. Real, but I know that nigga can't be. Pay a nigga up for the late fee. Hit her from the side till I get home safely. Got 3 chains on me, neck strong, and a bitch checks long, and a bitch. Thanks a lot for everybody who tuned in. Enjoy this day. In the hood around you, shorty can't put a cup down. Glide through your hood like soap on a runway. No sleep, check a bag on a Sunday. Get it in a moment, I don't gotta say one day. Be cool, you don't really want gunplay. Slide through your side like a spoon on ice cream. Say I'm falling off, baby, that's a pipe dream. Everybody win when they ball for the right team. Gotta shine like a star on a light beam. Get into the cash, stop playing with me. You be in the DM, but you laying with me. Ain't really